Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sunday edition of World of Watches TV. Continue tonight is a little bit of a slower pace. Wiley and I are going to wind things down this weekend. Most of the time...
That was a good watch kind of tag, winding it down.
Oh, I didn't even pick that up. Most of the time, you guys know every hour we're coming out with 20, 30, sometimes 40 watches. And it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially sometimes when we don't get enough time to sort of go into all the intricacies of every single watch. So this weekend, what we actually decided to do was pick some of our best-selling brands and bring them out in groups so that way we can spend a bit more time with every collection. And so you'll see with watches tonight, we won't just have one Luminox, and then we'll go to something else, and we'll go back to a Luminox. We'll have all the Luminox collection together, and then all the Swiss Legend. So it's a great way for you guys to sort of pay attention when some of your favorite brands or a watch interests you comes up. And it's also good for you guys to sort of learn a little bit more about some of these really special watches, including some of the amazing world premieres that we had last night. Should you tell them what they can expect tonight?
You are going to find that we've added a brand or two that maybe you haven't seen here at Swiss Watch International World of Watches. And as they are popping up right now on our website, you're going to be delighted because some of the designs are classics that go back to just the heart of watchmaking, and some of them are very new and very contemporary. And we're glad that we're going to be able to show all of that to you tonight.
And just because we're talking to you doesn't mean we don't want to hear from you. So please, as you can see below there, tweet us at WOW TV Chat. You guys were so active on Twitter last night. We absolutely love that. Send us your pictures. Ask us your questions. Keith has already been tweeting in. We got a great tweet from Ken and Ali yesterday.
Pictures of their watches.
Yeah.
Like if you're family vacation, here is Aunt Myrtle.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's
don't want to
nice,
see you
but unless
like
she's wearing a
Turks
watch.
and Caicos or something fabulous. But good for you. But yeah, put the watch photos in there. We do love to see what you guys are wearing on your wrist while you're watching the show, or maybe what you're picking up tonight. It's also a great place for you guys to let us know what you think of the show, especially with the slower format. A couple of you guys tweeted last night that you liked it. If you didn't like it, that's what we love to hear from you guys. So please use that as your sounding board. We love to hear what you think, and if you have any questions.
My goodness, what an attractive necklace you're wearing.
Why, thank you, Wiley.
Where did you get that beautiful piece of jewelry?
He's working on his segues. They'll get better. If you like this necklace, guess what? Because Mother's Day is 7 days from today. That means you have to place your order this weekend for a lady's watch so you have it in time to wrap it and give it to mom next Sunday. Or maybe that special lady in your life. It doesn't matter. Ladies, if you're shopping, here's the deal. Every single lady's watch that you purchase this weekend, whether we presented the watch on the show or whether it's at WorldofWatches.tv, because remember, the entire lineup for the weekend and then some is posted there now. Every single lady's watch gets this Calvin Klein jewelry necklace. Now here's the amazing thing. This necklace retails for $200. And it's actually selling right now for $65 on our website, which if you watched the show last night, you saw that $65 is even more than some of the ladies' watches we had available. So this is an incredible jewelry piece. I have not stopped wearing it since I did the weekend preview the other day. I love it. It's a statement piece. It's done in gold-plated steel. You've got this faceted stone that's almost like a reflective mirror. I'm wearing one, but I will do a little tour with one later. And here's the great thing. It's included with every single lady's watch, and that's per item. So if you buy 5 ladies' watches, you get 5 Calvin Klein necklaces. How cool is that? And again, they retail for $200, and you get the certificate of authenticity. I'll remind you of everything throughout the night. But please, if you are shopping for a lady tonight, or if you're even on the fence about something, know that you get a really killer free gift included no matter what.
And it doesn't just come in like a little plastic bag. You get the gift box, and inside of there is a travel pouch so that the necklace is well protected. Again, they're treating it just like it's a high-end piece of jewelry, because it is. And you'll find with some of the watches that the watch actually sells for less than what you would pay for this, and you get that free.
How nice is that? So, gentlemen out there that tune in every single weekend and buy yourself something, what about the lady that's sitting next to you? What about your mother, your daughter, your sister? Get her a nice watch, or at least get your mom a watch and your daughter a necklace. Everybody wins. All right, well, there's no real preview since we're just kind of going collection to collection. So we're going to jump right into it with our first collection of the night. All right, so this is really cool. This is the Swiss Legend Delta GMT alarm. Now, as you can see, one of the variations did already sell out. That was the rose tone. So we still have available the silver tone and the gold plated. So no worries, you're still getting two great neutrals here, the all silver tone or the all gold plated. Now, I was playing around with this watch before the show because I wanted to be able to figure something out. You know, we've told you that it has an alarm function on it, but we never really showed you how to do that. And that's the first thing I want to show you with this watch. So in my hands, I actually have item number 264167. Now here's the deal with this watch. You've got your currently displayed hours, right? Then you've got that little red hand. Now you know it's a GMT, and for those of you who are not familiar, GMT means secondary time zone. That's not what the letters stand for, but that's what it is. When you see GMT, you know you get an additional time zone right there on that dial. So here, two time zones in one dial, and you'll just line it up with all of the traditional hour markers there. Now here's where the alarm comes in. Do you hear that? Or let me get a little closer. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. You hear it a little bit? I don't want to be like right on top of the watch. That little beep
Oh,
there.
go ahead.
So what happens is for your alarm, what you'll actually do is you'll set your time that you want this clock to go off at. You want your alarm to go off. So as you would set the time no matter what, you would take your crown, you would move your hour markers. All right, I want my alarm to go off at 10:45. Then this lower pusher here, you depress that. One time means that alarm is now activated. Then you can either go back to setting your normal time, because maybe it's not 10:45, maybe it's, whatever time. It does not matter. Then you would screw your crown back down and go about your day. The cool thing is it's internally keeping fact that you set the alarm function. So when the watch gets to 10:45, you will have that reminder alarm go off. So it's really, really cool because all you'll do is just set it as you would your normal time, and it internally recognizes that. And then when you don't want to set the alarm, you just hit it again, and 2 beeps means the alarm is off. How cool is that? Now, speaking of cool, other great functionality on this watch, Super Luminova, of course. Notice how all of the hour markers and the hands are a bit more vibrant, of course. Bigger area there for that painted on Super Luminova, but still very, very vibrant all the way around. Now that was the silver tone accents with the black ionic plated case. My friend Wiley over here, you guys know he's a bit of a flashy gentleman. He's going to show you something a little bit fancier.
I absolutely love the color on this watch. Now, behind me I'm wearing an 18-karat gold watch tonight, but look how well, you can see this Swiss Legend holds up very well under the scrutiny of high-definition television. It looks far more expensive than that price you're seeing on the screen. Now, one of the things I love about this is, of course, because it's Swiss Legend, you're going to get the Sapphitech crystal. You would probably never do this with one of your watches if it has a mineral crystal on there, or if it has any other material other than Sapphitech or sapphire. And it's going to be scratch resistant to the point where we're going to put a 10-year warranty on this that you're not going to be able to scratch it. This is Swiss Legend. This is our brand. We're the only company out there, at least the only one I know of, that's willing to put a 10-year warranty. And no matter, that's wonderful, because one of the things that really ages a watch, I have a lot of watches in my collection that are older, and they happen to have mineral crystal, hardened mineral, or even sapphire coated. And just over time, there is always a mark that's left on them. You're going to love the fact that this is going to look great for years to come. I also love this expanded date window down here at the bottom that allows you to see a little bit of the inner working of the watch. Now, this is a 44 millimeter across. We measure diagonally. Yet this looks great on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. I have a smaller wrist, but if we rotate that just enough, can you see how the lugs right here are shaped to be anatomically correct? It's not just a flat watch going across there. There's enough curvature that it meets the shape of my wrist. Now, there is a generous amount of strap on here that if you easily had, I would say a 9-inch wrist, it's still going to fit. And I could even cinch this down a little tighter. Folks, this watch really does have so much functionality and style to it that it really does belay that $144.99 price. And it is absolutely silly not to get this watch at $99.99. And we've put it on 5 stress-free payments of only $20. Now, If you go shopping somewhere else, remember, we're going to guarantee you you're not going to find it for less than what we have right here. But we're also going to do free shipping, so consider that in the price tonight, as well as if for whatever reason you change your mind, we'll also pay for it to come back. And look at how just a slight color variation changes the style completely of the watch.
Yeah, this definitely gives it a bit more of that classic look. You know, the gold is always going to have a bit more of that dressed up look, even though it is a sport watch. This one allows it to fly much more under the radar. And what's cool is the case and lug area are all done in black IP. So it almost matches that silicone strap. Then you can see the silver tone for that coin edge bezel, your crown and pushers. I like a little bit of red around the shoulders for the pushers to match the red for the GMT hand and the little red for the expanded date window. Now with my 6-inch wrist, here you can see there is a slight bit of gapping. Now it's not uncomfortable. It doesn't, I don't think, look too big. It's certainly not a cumbersome or bulky watch to wear. But as you can see, with it being on the tightest closure, it still fits very, very comfortably. Now let's review very quickly what you get for just $100. Or even better, Wiley and I are always going to suggest to you use the stress-free payments. If you're not comfortable putting $100 out tonight, maybe it's your first time shopping with us, maybe you're got a $100 budget and you want to sort of space that out, get a couple of watches, or wait until a big, oh yeah, you look fabulous, or wait until there's a big ticket item coming up. The stress-free payments are only available when you purchase during World of Watches TV. So every single day on our website, we always have amazing deals. We've always got great sales going on. But if you want the interest-free payment plan, you've got to purchase during the weekend. And that expires tonight at midnight Eastern Standard Time.
So it's going back up to the $144, which that's a great price.
Yeah, no, it's still great. Swiss-made movement, Safatek crystal, GMT, and alarm. But isn't it nice to know that if you order it right now, you could either put down $100 or even better, put down 20. Now, what we will do is ship you the watch after your first payment. So this is not layaway. You don't have to make all the payments and wait for the watch and all of that. You make your first payment. We process these orders tomorrow morning. So this will be well on its way to you within a matter of days. How easy is that? But remember, you have to place your order before midnight tonight Eastern. Item number for the one Wiley's got on the screen right now, 264157. The one that I had, which it says silver accents, but it's really, let's say, silver tone and black IP, is 264161. $20 gets this watch home.
And you know, I think it's wonderful how comfortable this watch is. I love the fact if you do not have a watch that has a silicone or rubber strap to it, you really need to consider getting one because it really is, it's very in right now. It is very sporty, it is very durable, and it's incredibly comfortable. And this isn't just any strap. You notice they've used a 3-lug design on here. They can't just pull this strap out of the vault and throw it on any watch. It is one custom made for this watch. And I love the fact that this looks so good. And it really does hold up well. Under the scrutiny of high definition tonight, the watch looks great. And I assure you, it looks far more expensive than that $99.99. Very supportive of these watches tonight. I love them.
All right, so I want to let you guys know, for those of you who did miss the show, this will be coming up later on tonight. But we're already seeing that people are starting to purchase this right now. Last night, we had the world debut of the Swiss legend Abismo 2.0. Remember that 1,000-meter watch? It is now Swiss-made in an automatic. Right now, this weekend, we have 3 different options for you to choose from. They are still big. They're going to wear like 48 millimeters. They still have that massive screwed-in case back because it's about 19.5 millimeters in thickness. You have the STP, that is Swiss Technology Production. That is a Swiss-made movement manufacturer. The STP 1-11. Think about it like the ETA 2824. A great, easy-to-use, automatic with date. That's what's beating inside here. You get the 10-year warranty on the Safatek, the 5-year warranty on that automatic movement. I cannot wait for you guys to see this crazy packaging that this comes in. And remember, something kind of crazy. Remember when it was non-Swiss made? I'm speaking to those of you out there who used to watch the show, or maybe you've been a fan of Swiss Legend for 10 years. The non-Swiss made Abisos. When I first started here 2.5, almost 3 years ago, we had the non-Swiss made Abisos on the show for $500. And we were selling out every single night. That was non-Swiss made at $500. Swiss made automatic watches for $350. Even better, guys, use those payments. If you wait until tomorrow, you're going to go to our website and it's going to be $1,000. That hurts. Hurts me for you. $350 right now this weekend.
But something has value based on what someone is willing to pay for it. And for someone who understands the professional dive instrument this is, you can go out to the department store, the name brand store, and you're going to pay that $1,000 or $1,500. And there are folks who know the value in that for this. It's a 1,000-meter dive watch. The fact that you can get that for $1,000, for some folks, that is perfectly fine. The fact that we, as the owner of the company, have the ability to do something like this for a limited number of people. You can't do it all the time, or we have to close the doors. The reality is, why sell a $1,000 watch for $349? Because the best advertisement in the world for Swiss Watch International is for our products to be on your wrist. And people are going to ask you, where did you get that? And being able to say that you got it from us, now mind you, it's going to be more expensive later. We can't constantly sell the watch at that. But having these watches on your wrist it was the best advertisement in the world because it shows the durability, the quality, the craftsmanship, and you, fortunately knowing the secret of this program, get it at the lowest possible price. And for somebody to be able to get this watch home for $58.33, that's your first of 6 stress-free payments, is one of the best things in the world. I can wholeheartedly recommend this watch. Feeling it in the hand, it is a strong construction watch. You're going to love it. And you have 3 selections to choose from. I'm picking the one with the yellow accents. That's the one I like the best, so go ahead and get that. We're looking forward to you getting that watch tonight. Now, right behind that, we are so happy to be partnered with Nixon. Now, if you're not familiar with the Nixon watch brand, in 1997, in California, they decided to build custom watches and start a company from the ground floor. And they wanted watches to have a custom handmade feel. And if you watched any promotional material from them, they do such a great job of just convincing you, and rightly so, that these watches are made so individualistically. These are not cookie cutter watches. They're not watches that fit everybody's personality. They have said in both of their advertising and through any information you'll read about Nixon that they're not just trying to create an object. They're trying to create an object of desire. And their philosophy is when you see a Nixon watch, you either like it or you don't. And it's a watch that when you see the one that is you go, okay, I've got to have it. Young and energetic, well, it's Nixon. That's the audience. Now, whether that's you by age or attitude, consider these watches tonight. Now, right here, the Ride chronograph is a bold example of that. And you have a large watch. You want to take a best guess, Megan?
This?
Uh-huh. What do you think?
I'm going 50.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. 50! She is dead on.
That's somebody give me a treat.
They just threw
No,
a
really,
fish
I'm
to
hungry.
her. That would be nice. We should order takeout. Folks, this is a 50-millimeter case, and you can see the machining on this. Everything from the crown has the machining, and this done in the black IP. Is this IP on here? Do you think that is?
Yeah, that's ionic plating.
Yeah,
it's done in a matte finishing.
Which is really kind of what threw me, because usually when you see IP plating, it's in a high polish of some sort. This has that kind of industrial matte finish that's really popular on customized cars right now. It's something, again, that reflects that youth culture. Now, look at just how a slight color variation gives you 2 different styles. Now, for some folks, this may be a little too bold for you. But if you're looking for a watch that is going to take you just about anyway, because these are tough watches, you really need to consider the watches from Nixon. Of course, this is a working chronograph. These are not just for show. There's some watches that you might find at this price point that are far more show than go. Not Nixon. They are built for the long haul. As we come in even closer, you can see how easy these are to read. This is a bold watch. This is an even greater shot of that dial. And the subdials are done in that same dark finish, but look at the hands, how they stand out. Again, just a simple press again is going to stop the chronograph. That's going to hit our reset, and you can see the smooth flow of this movement. I mean, again, this is a 50 millimeter watch, but look how thick that is. This is not a watch you're going to wear to try to just go unnoticed. This is one of those watches that, again, it's for folks that you don't care what anybody else thinks. This is all about you and your individuality. Now you can see the locking clasp right there. Possibly you're a surfer or you're somebody that enjoys sports. You're going to want that locking clasp there. You have a dual push button, single scissor style deployant on there. And you can see that screw down back on that watch that's going to help add to its water resistance. This is one of those watches, again, if you're looking for something tough, if you're looking for something individualistic, if you're looking for something that is not the everyday, this is really one to consider. And I really want to show it to you on the wrist, because you need to think, you know, this is a watch that's 50 millimeters. Is that going to look good? Maybe you're not the biggest person in the world. You know, as you've heard me say, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. But this watch really does look good on there. Now, there's 100 meters of water resistance. It is all stainless steel, and it has the incredibly reliable Japanese movement in here that is a quartz movement that's going to be accurate to within 10 to 15 seconds per month. And if you want something more accurate than that, well, stick around. I think we have something for you. But look at how good that looks. Again, that's a 50 millimeter case, but you can see by the way that the lugs are designed that it allows the bracelet to drop straight down on the wrist, so it does not stick out. Now, some watches, the lugs come out far enough that it would leave a gap. You can see with this, as they come in even closer. Megan, would this fit you?
I'll try the other one on.
Oh, by all means. Megan is going to put this on because you know what? There are ladies out there who are just as tough as any man that enjoys extreme sports.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
maybe you enjoy. There is no doubt about that. And she's packing heat right now. So even if Kung Fu doesn't take me out, she's armed and dangerous.
My Krav Maga skills will.
These really do look good.
You know what's interesting about this that I'm seeing as I've got the other one on my wrist? Now, the item number for the one Wiley just had, we're calling it yellow accents. I do not want to call this yellow accents. You can see in that shot there, and we are showing you in real life, it is much more of a green,
I was going to say that,
green.
absolutely.
This one, though, no disputing it. It is white accents, 271473. Now, here is that 50 millimeter. Look at it on my 6-inch wrist. Curves around nicely, right? It perfectly fits with no gapping and no spacing. Not too tall, given that it is a 50 millimeter, but here's what I find interesting. It's a very short bracelet. In fact, this bracelet, will you close yours?
Absolutely.
In fact, the bracelet on this, I would say, can really not accommodate larger than a 7-inch wrist. So this is the kind of watch that is perhaps best suited for those people out there, like myself, that like bigger accessories. See, it's a short bracelet.
It really is. I mean, there is a little bit of wiggle room right there. There's some fine tuning adjustment within the bracelet itself. Hi there, I was moving the watch around. I surprised them. But you know what I like about this? I want to compare the two. I want them to be able to see both of them simultaneously. You know, what I like about this is they've taken two very similar styles and sizes. But with the white, you notice with the chronograph subdials, they have really accentuated and brought it out, and they've left it far more stealthy because of the brightness of the accents on the other watch, that yellowish green. And they have two completely different personalities. Now, just at home, which one do you like best? And Megan, which one do you like best?
I like the white accents, actually. I like the black and white. I like the high contrast of the white against the black, and I also feel that with the white option, you're able to see the chronograph a bit easier. Notice how the subdials are, it's funny to say more vibrant than the watch that's got the lime green accents, but I noticed that in the lime green, or what is the item number for yellow, keep in mind it is more of a lime green, truly. You can really only see those little hands. You can't see the little indicators. It blends in, and maybe that's to make that color pop so much.
Oh,
so
yeah?
If you're looking for something to perhaps be able to be seen a little bit easier, I'm talking about the chronograph subdials, I would go for the white.
Look at how well, okay, I'm going to just...
You like this one?
I do, and I'm not going to argue for it, but I love the fact that they really pop against that black dial. Now, I realize that those numbers under there are kind of stealthily done, but you can read it. I mean, you can see how the light pops off of them, but look how easy you can read this. So which one of these is the right personality for you? Well, that's entirely your choice. But I do want to let you know this, moms and dads. If you happen to have a young person that is a graduate and you're looking for just the right gift for them, maybe you're not familiar with the Nixon name, but I promise if you've got a young person in your world that's under 30 years old, under 25 years old, they know these watches. They have been around since 1997. They've been right on the pulse of youth culture. They're rarely on sale, and you're going to have to go to the mall to buy them. It's going to be that $550 mark because somebody has to pay the rent at the mall, but you're not going to have to pay that here. We have so many watch brands here at Swiss Watch International, over 500 different watches that you're going to find on our website, that we're able to offer these watches at the lowest possible price. And it's not at the $330 price. It is delightfully at $229.99. Your first payment of $57.50 is going to get this home to you. And there's 4 stress-free payments. And there's no interest on that, and we'll pay for the shipping. We guarantee you will not find these watches anywhere else for less money, or will meet or beat the price. That's Nixon Ride chronograph. Please consider that for your collection or as a gift.
I want to thank our viewers who are tweeting in, and one of our viewers, Bobby, tweeted in and helped us out with that color. He said it's Viper Green. So thank you, Bobby, because that is the color exactly for that Nixon. He also said that your explanation of Nixon was the best he has heard to date. We're getting some great tweets in from Dan and Keith. We got an awesome tweet in from David, who hasn't tweeted in a while. And you guys have to go on Twitter. If you're not interested in tweeting with us, then please at least look us up on Twitter at WowTVChat, because we're retweeting some photos. David tweeted in a photo of what he's calling the Abismo Generation 1, and that was with it at a 2824. And of course, the other option that we had was the Claro CL888. We are moving on right now, though, to the SXC, the Space GMT from Luminox. Remember, Luminox is cool because not only are they tactical watches, but because they have all of their categories designed either air, land, sea, or space. So this is for the International Space Station. Now, of course, unfortunately, as we regret to show you there, you can see that we did already sell out of one. But we do have one remaining, one color remaining here, and that is item number 264153 for this 49 millimeter watch. Big watch, right? We are talking about a lot here. What I like a lot about this is this rich dark gunmetal. To me, gunmetal is that cool neutral that I don't think a lot of you guys consider enough. Yeah, you've got your black, you've got your silver, maybe you've got brown, but gunmetal keeps it edgy. It's that cool color that's kind of unexpected. You don't see gunmetal as often. And with a watch like this, it really allows all of those other colors in this watch to truly pop. And when you take a closer look at the dial, you'll see you've got pops of red and pops of blue and white. Now, of course, because you've got the GMT there, as we just talked about, you do have that secondary time zone. So I'm just going to turn that little crown. After I pull it out one click, of course, the other way would adjust my date. But when I'm rotating it counterclockwise, I'm adjusting my little GMT hand, and you can set that for whatever offset time that you want. The cool thing is there's actually 2 things that you could do here. Let's talk about the currently displayed hours, the blue hands. It's 10:10, right? Now, you could have your little GMT hand here be offset. I'm doing it at the 4 o'clock. So now I've got 2 different time zones. Or something else you could do is you could actually have this for the military equivalent of the currently displayed hours. So if you wanted it for PM, you could match that up to the 2200, because notice on the inner ring of the dial there, that 24-hour chapter ring. So you can actually have that GMT hand reflect the 24-hour chapter ring or just a secondary time zone. You'll also notice on the dial you've got 200 meters of water resistance, of course. Luminox watches are all about being rugged and tough. They want to make sure that you are ready to go. Of course, the unidirectional rotating bezel, you are good with a professional grade diver that has a strap that has been specially treated to withstand salt water, chlorine, any kind of diving. You don't have to worry about this strap getting ruined if you're actually going to wear this diving. These watch straps are made to be worn while diving. Now, of course, another thing that many of us know if you've watched the shows before, and I was telling the staff around here before we started the show, I was at a birthday party for my girlfriend's son earlier today, and one of my friends came with her husband and her daughter, and her husband was wearing the Color Mark collection from Luminox, and I was talking to him about it and stuff, and I was telling him, people don't realize this if they're not familiar with the brand Luminox, that this is not traditional lume. And as you guys know from watching the show, or maybe if you don't know, tritium is an inert gas. Superluminova that you probably have on your watch now is a painted on compound. It could be Superluminova, it could be Seiko Lumibrite, it could be any proprietary lume, but it is painted on luminescence. With tritium, when you see these little what look like white dashes, and you can also see them on the outer edge of that chapter ring, they are individual glass tubes filled with an inert gas that is always luminous. So rather than superluminova or some sort of luminescent compound that needs to be charged by being worn in sunshine or artificial light, tritium does not require a charge. This watch is always glowing the exact same. Now it's a bit lighter than superluminova, but this is what it looks like. And on this watch, I like that there's a couple pops of blue to match the blue accents. Now, before I pass this over to Wiley, because I want him to try it on, because it's a big watch, you guys should see it on a larger wrist than mine, on a man's wrist. I want you...
We'll get one right
slim.
now.
Yeah, can we get somebody from the back, please? I want you to see the back of this one because, well, one, it matches my shirt and it looks really cool. But also, I want you to see the SXC. Luminox is not just stamping on SXC or saying, oh, it's the Space GMT. Oh, you know, this is for the astronauts. Luminox watches are designed with the help and expertise of our U.S. military, our heroes abroad and in the United States. These watches are designed with these individuals in mind. So these watches, where it says the Space Expedition Corporation, people from the SXC actually were involved in the design and manufacturing of these components. I also want you to see the leather strap here. Yes, that is genuine leather stitched down. And then the front, oh, I like these segues. Look at that. With the nylon on the front. So you have both on this really, really nice, very comfortable strap. Now, again, I'm going to pass this over to Wiley so he can try this on. We'll show you that shot. Unfortunately, the one on the left is sold out. So we're showing you item number 264153. Unfortunately, because, you know, a lot of people are shopping, many people did miss out on the show last night, things are selling out quite quickly. So if you want, follow along with us, but also maybe open up a browser on your phone or on the computer that pulls up our lineup. WorldofWatches.tv. Every single thing is right there with the entire weekend lineup. So I don't want you guys to miss out on anything. I am shocked that that fits you so well. It looks good.
I would not tell you that this watch is as large as it's claiming to be. And it's because it wears like a smaller watch. There's a little bit of weight to it because you can tell this is sturdy construction. But what I like is that there is a curvature in the case itself that really does fit to the wrist. And I think you already pointed this out. Even though you have this kind of canvas material here, on the opposite side of that is a much smoother material. Because if you were to put canvas on and you were to get this wet, you were in the ocean and you had salt water under you, that rubbing against the skin would be incredibly uncomfortable. Once again, the thoughtfulness of putting that coating on here, which is going to make it wear like it is almost like a rubber strap, is going to be, and you can see the additional amount of strap come to speak of that right there. You can see that this could be cinched up even tighter, and there's certainly enough probably for an 8.5, almost 9-inch wrist there. It's one of those watches, again, 6 3/4-inch wrist, yet this watch fits comfortably on there. And of course, because it's Luminox, you do have Swiss made. That means this movement is from Switzerland. It is a Swiss movement. It means that at least 60% of the value of this watch has to have its construction or contents from Switzerland. This movement had to be placed inside of this case in Switzerland, and then the final inspection had to be in Switzerland. That's going to guarantee you the highest level of quality in watchmaking. And because it's Luminox, you know you're going to have a great deal of scratch resistance. You're going to have that water resistance. You have all of this that's going to ensure the longevity of this watch that is really military, and in this case, NASA grade just about. And you have something that's going to be, it's a price-protected product. This is one of those watches you don't always find on sale. But you can get it not at the $795 and not the $556, but tonight until midnight, $399.99, and your first $80 payment, there's 5 stress-free payments, will get it home. Consider the Luminox SXC Space GMT. Coming up right behind that, this is one of those collections that is such a great value. Seiko has been around for since 1924, and if you're looking for a great pilot-style watch, whether you're a pilot or you just love aviation, look, we have 3 incredible selections tonight. These are automatics. They are fantastic watches, and I hope we get to show them to you on the wrist. Take a peek at the website to see these and get a few more pictures, but we want to show them to you a little bit later. But we know that these sell so well, we want to give you this preview right now. We have 3 different colors. We have the one with the navy bezel, the orange bezel, and the black bezel, so you can choose which one fits you best. And I kind of like the navy.
I was just about to say, I love the navy one too. These were really popular the past 2 weeks on our show, and these are coming up later on tonight. They will get full presentations. They wear like 45 millimeters on the wrist. They are 24 joule automatic movements. Now the movements hack. So remember, when you pull the crown, it stops the movement. It also means with the 24 joule that you get the day of the week complication in addition to the calendar date, which is expanded. And that date, the day of the week is bilingual. So you set it in either English or Espanol, if you will, and it stays in that language. Don't worry, it's not like Monday one day and then the next day it's Viernes and you're like, where am I? And, it would be Martes after Monday. Excuse me, I'm trying. All the Spanish people are clapping their hands and they're embarrassed now. And I live in Miami. All right, we'll get there, guys. So the item numbers, we'll start at the top and go clockwise from there. The orange bezel is at the top, 271912. Going down from there clockwise, you'll have the black bezel, 271913. And then right next to that on the bottom left, 271911. That's for the navy bezel. They all have black dials, though. They are all individually $135. But again, I'm always going to tell you, use the payments, guys. $33 and change a month. That's it.
For one of the most recognized names in watchmaking, Seiko. We're delighted to have that. Please consider that for your collection, and we look forward to showing you that face-to-face in just a little bit. Now, I'm having a real quandary because what's coming up next, there are 3 incredibly similar yet completely different selections, and I'm staring at them right now before me. Megan, before we show these live, because we're going to, which one do you like?
It's so difficult because I always love the black and tan.
Yes.
But I love this, what we're joking calling grayish with the rich blue dial.
Go ahead and take
pick.
that
I think this one will match your shirt the best, though.
Okay. All right. I
have to give Wiley a little bit of fashion prep here.
Well, because you are a fashionista. You are an expert, and they can still catch you on reruns online. These really, really do look good. I mean, as folks are trying to see these, as we come to the live shot, I want you to really just see that these are beautiful watches, and I really do like. Now, if you've got Luminox, okay, let's just start with that. It's Swiss-made. It's Luminox. Since 1989, they are just absolutely. I mean, these are tough watches. Now, I like this one because this blue looks great, and as they come even closer, look at the beauty. Oh, that's good. You guys should do this professionally, not like this amateur stuff you're doing now. But I'm just saying this right here looks good. And of course, I have no fear of scratching this. This Swiss-made product is of the highest quality because you're getting it from Luminox. And we'll show you, hopefully, have a loom shot of this in a minute. But what's tough is I love the straps and the other dials on these watches. Now, you'll hear us talk about this. There are a lot of watches will have Superluminova, or it will have Lumibright, or something that is painted on that absorbs the light around it and then gives off that energy over the next 30 minutes to an hour. These little tiny vials right here at the hour markers are filled with a product called tritium. It's an inert gas that constantly, 24 hours a day for the next 25 years, is going to be giving off light. And you can see as the lights go out, boom, the tritium is going to look like that. Now, it's going to have this kind of brightness for the next 12, 13, 14 years, and then it's going to begin to have its life begin to a slow fade into the distance. But they are less expensive to replace than taking a traditional watch in and having something like Superluminova put back on.
Absolutely. You know what's amazing, though, with tritium is people always, and myself included when I first learned about it, people always assume that tritium is going to be kind of difficult because it's more expensive, of course, when you have a watch. It's more rare, of course. But as it turns out, with tritium having a half-life of about 12 and a half years, that just means that it will just dim to exactly about half of what it was at its full luminescent. But when you go, maybe at its half-life or a couple of years after that, when you want to get the tritium replaced, it is easier for watch repairmen or watch manufacturers, whomever, to replace tritium than it is for somebody to fix or replace Swiss Superluminova or Superluminova. Because if you think about it, they have to be so precise when they are painting. They almost have to fill in the lines or the stencils, if you will. Here, they can just very, very easily pop out these tubes and replace them. So it's kind of cool because you spend a little bit more money to have something a bit more rare right now, but in the long run, it's actually a bit more affordable. Go ahead.
You've got my watch on.
You like this? This is your favorite
Well,
one?
I'll tell you why. Well, I'm going to have to buy two because I really like that lighter ivory beige vintage dial.
We'll go to that one right now so you guys can see that.
Oh, this looks so good. But I really want, I mean, and you know what? At this price, I could buy two. Because, certainly with the stress-free payments, because there's 5 stress-free payments on here. I want this dial with the strap that you have on that one.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, really, for what normally you would have to pay the list price, and go ahead, Google it, go to the mall, we'll wait, we'll be here, we've still got another, couple of hours. When you come back, you're going to buy these watches. Because you literally could buy 2 of these for what you would buy 1 at the department store. I mean, look at that price right there. This is what people are paying at the mall because Luminox is that brand. And you don't have to put out even the $479, which will go back to $647.99 at midnight tonight. You're going to have to... I'm sorry, our time's up, ladies and gentlemen. No, that's actually the alarm on here. I love these watches. And the one that you have right there, that strap, they have... Can I hold that one?
You may.
Thank you.
Because I love the one with the blue dial. It's my
Right.
favorite one.
This is what caught my attention. This is a color of leather that you would generally see in what's called belting leather, which is an all-natural, very tough type of hide. It's one of the ones that's not as treated as some leathers, and it has this coloration to it. But here's what I love about this as a watch collector. This watch, this particular variety, this strap, is going to begin to take on the life of the owner. Because the oils from your skin are going to begin to change this. It's going to become more supple over time. This is a thick leather. Do you see that? This is not like dress watch leather. This is designed to last as long as the life of this watch. And of course, because it's Swiss made, because you have a sapphire crystal, I am delighted to try just all day long to see. I mean, the chances of scratching this are going to be infinitesimally small because it's sapphire crystal. It's the second hardest transparent substance. The only thing that's stronger than this is diamond. Folks, this is 100 meters of water resistance. It has the sapphire crystal right there, that 6 o'clock position, that moniker, Swiss made. I love this because this is the one that you've heard me describe. This is the watch Indiana Jones would wear.
Yeah, I know you love that color combo.
I do, because it is such a vintage look of old military. It's easy to read. It has this. It has the tritium that gives you that luminescence. This one I love has the reverse date window that instead of having the white wheel with black lettering, it has the black wheel with white lettering. And these small touches for watch collectors are things that you look at and you go, okay, I like that. I like that a lot. That little bit of flash at the subdials, but it just tells you it's a serious timepiece. And you can see that screw down back that's going to help with its water resistance. And by the way, this has the anti-reflective coating on here for the sapphire. And there is a very famous watch right now that's made by a phone company.
The Fruit.
Yes, that they're having trouble with because that sapphire crystal is not anti-reflective, and you actually can see the watch workings better through the non-sapphire crystal because they didn't do what these folks have known to do, to put an anti-reflective coating on here.
That's interesting.
Yeah, go read the article. I'll wait.
You know what's amazing, guys, that you have to think about? Ooh. This is a $925 watch. Now, that's not to say you couldn't find it discounted somewhere else. We're never going to say watches are never on sale other places. But this price that we have here, every day on our website, it's $648. You're saving a lot of money off $925, right? But on the show, we've got it for $480. Oh, that looks so nice. 46 millimeters. And you can split that up over 5 months. So that $925 watch is a lot of money, right? We're looking at almost $1,000 here for a watch that, let's be honest, you can't wear with a suit. You might not be able to wear it every day. And maybe for $1,000, you should be able to invest in something a bit more classic, a bit more dressy. But what do you do if you love the watch? You don't want to have to say goodbye to it. You want to be able to own it. And what we offer with stress-free payments, to me, I honestly think, aside from the fact that we have incredible selection and great warranties, to me, stress-free payments, and I personally have been able to use stress-free payments for gifts and for buying myself watches that I only ever hoped that I could afford at the time. You might not be able to put $925 out for this watch in stores. You might not even be able to do $480 in stores right now. But could you do $96 for a Swiss-made watch with a Ronda 5030D movement inside, with 200 meters of water resistance, with the alarm complication on there? $96 is a really fair price. So maybe instead of taking $100 that you came into the show with and buying 4 watches, maybe you use that $100 a month and you put it towards the payments. Interest-free. You are not going to get just the watch in an envelope and some bubble wrap. You will get this watch brand new in its original packaging, every single watch. So please take advantage of the stress-free payments and get yourself something super high-end. Perhaps even one of these Chronofighters from Graham. I mean, these are $6,500 watches. And now look at our price, $2,300. That's 1/3 of the price, nearly 1/3 of the price that you would pay for this watch in stores right now.
You know, I love the fact that we have watches for everybody. And if your price point is the lowest price watch that we have, I don't look at the price of the watch as much as I do the value, the style. And there are times that there are just some watches that are considered staples, halo pieces, pieces that are, I strive to attain that watch. Mm-hmm. This, for some folks, may just be pocket change. And for other folks, this might be the crown jewel in your collection. We are delighted to be able to take this time. I mean, where else do you get to see $6,000 watches?
It's amazing.
Marked down, okay, the $4,000 price, which it'll be back at midnight tonight. But right now, folks, if you have one of these Graham watches, would you send us a picture? Would you tweet? Would you just tell us why you bought it from us as opposed to somebody else?
I want to tell you that we just got a tweet in @WowTVChat from our friend Bill, who we've talked about many times on the show, and he just sent us an awesome photo. Now, for those of you who don't know, we love to tweet with you guys all the time, and a viewer of ours, Bill, that's been a prolific watch collector, he just sent in a photo because he recently got the Graham. And he said, I just added my new Graham to my Wow safe. Thanks, guys. My Wow watch winders are in there, too. This photo, he has like 12 watch winders. He's got his Maurice Lacroix in there, his Breitlinks. Now he's got the Graham Chronofighter. And the cool thing about this is the trigger complication that we see on these Grahams. This isn't new just to the Chronofighter 1695. But this particular collection is a 42 millimeter. It was Graham's way of saying, if you want something unique, if you like what we do, but maybe you now want it suit and tie, go for this. This 1695 collection actually commemorated George Graham, the creator of Graham watches. So now you've got a watch that looks good black tie, looks good if you're a bit more casual, maybe a nice button-down shirt and a nice pair of jeans. It's not too big. It's not overly done. That is all hand engraving, guys. Every single detail on that watch showing you the Greenwich Royal Observatory, which has a little bit of history that I researched before the show for this. Wiley and I looked this up. This right here is the Greenwich Royal Observatory, which George Graham was the official watchmaker for. And that is all done in hand engraving, not machining.
You know, the Greenwich Royal Observatory, that's the G in GMT.
Really?
Yes, it's Greenwich Mean Time.
Ah.
So that is the pinnacle. It is the push pin. It is the North Star of time telling.
That's so cool.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
And you can see it forever etched and, you know, right here for all time. And you can see the beautiful work inside. You can see the Côte de Genève right here on that rotor. And I'm going to turn it over a little bit so that you can see into the inner workings of that watch. And, oh, you guys in the camera thing in my bob back there are so good. I love the fact that you're on your medication because look at that. This really does pull you into that. I mean, I'm so careful with this. Not that I'm fearful of scratching it, but I just want you to see in here into the beautiful inner working of this watch. It's one of those, I don't know about you, when I take the automatics, the skeletonized versions that I have, sometimes I really just love looking into the inner workings of these watches. Because it is an art and a craftsmanship of the cabinetier that has hand-built this watch. And, you know, with a name like Graham that has been around since 1695, you're getting something so unique. Folks, you know, watches come in only so many different varieties, and one of them is the automatic. Now, you can have a mechanical, which would require winding by hand. Then there's the automatic like this, which is this wonderful innovation of this rotor. And the mere movement of your body and the shaking of your wrist, the movement of your hand, rotates this rotor, which continues to wind the mainspring, which is going to allow that balance wheel that you saw earlier to keep track of the time. It has been that way for generations and for, you know, absolutely centuries now. We are delighted that this art of timekeeping is brought to you in such a beautiful and unique fashion. Now, this trigger design that you're seeing right here, by the way, you saw on the back of this watch, it says, just as it says right here, Swiss made. Now, we want to as much educate you as entertain you and provide you great value. And part of the education is know that with Swiss made, as we've said before, this movement has to be crafted in Switzerland. At least 60% of the value of this watch has to have its contents and construction in Switzerland. It has to be placed, the movement, inside this case in Switzerland and then final inspection in Switzerland. What does that ensure? The highest level of quality. Now, what you have here is this trigger design. Now, usually when you start, you know, any sort of chronograph, you would have a pusher. Now, this has this beautiful trigger. But it's on the opposite side that you would normally find a crown, which means the movement has been placed in upside down. So instead of having your reset down here, it's up here. And you can see it is easy to do by simply depressing that. That's going to start your chronographic function of the sweep hand going around and then stopping here and then your reset right here and it snaps into place. Now, what's great about this, we want to show it to you on the wrist, but before we do that, you can see this great homage to you know, Big Ben was the Elizabeth Tower right here in the hands, which that just screams London, doesn't it? But you can see this at night. It makes a beautiful, oh, that was great. And I want you to see this. Now, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. Megan has a beautiful 6-inch wrist.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
And this watch, whether for a man or a lady, your wrist and the watch, absolutely stunning. But I want you to see this on there.
So I'm showing you this one first with the black dial, 266543. Same size for both. They are 42 millimeters. Now, if you factor in the oversized trigger, it's going to be a bit larger than that, right? We're looking closer to 46 millimeters. The actual case is 42. What I love is I'm a lefty, so when I wear this on my right wrist, I will much easier be able to access the crown and the pushers and be able to set that in motion. Here's what it looks like on Wiley's wrist, and he's showing it to you as he would wear it on his wrist because he's a righty, so he's got it on his left wrist.
Now, as we switch to this shot right here, you're going to say, well, the watch is upside down. When I rotate it, it's at the correct time, but because of that larger trigger mechanism, they've intentionally moved it to the opposite side of the watch so that the movement of the hand does not accidentally trigger it or it does not cause any discomfort. Now, we prefer to show it to you upside down, which is right side up to you, but this is so you can see how it is on the wrist and there is no discomfort into bumping into that larger trigger. I love this dial. It really does look so rich. So folks, if you're considering something completely unique but is an incredible value, you're not paying the $6,450 and you're not paying the normal wow price of $4,514. But tonight you can get this until midnight, $2,299.99. Now, what's great about this, not all of our watches tonight will be on 6 stress-free payments. But this particular one, because we know that the price point, we want to make sure that you can get a watch like this for your first payment of $383.33. Now, listen, go to your bank and say, hey, I would like to borrow $2,299, and I want it to be interest-free, and I want it to be over the next 5 months.
Ha ha.
It's not going to happen. Now, if you have that kind of relationship, wonderful. But tonight, because we're your besties, we want you to know that all you have to do is make the phone call, make that first payment of $383. We're going to send you the watch. We're going to pay for shipping. You can handle it. You can touch it. You can smell it. You can know that this is 100% exactly what you want. And if it's not, we'll take it back and we'll pay for the shipping. And we guarantee it's the lowest price you're going to find. These beautiful Graham Chronofighters 1695s. Congratulations to all of you who are getting those tonight.
All right, let's stick with Swiss-made automatics, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited. I'm rubbing my hands together. I'm ready to get down and dirty. The Abismo 2.0. So remember, the Abismo was 1,000 meters. It was an automatic. That was the first generation. We are now here with the Swiss-made Abismo with the automatic movements. And for those of you who are not familiar, I'm going to talk to you for a moment about STP. STP is Swiss Technology Production. They are a movement manufacturer. The STP 1-11 is comparable to the ETA 2824, except the STP has a longer power reserve. 2824 is about 40 hours. STP 1-11, power reserve for up to 46 hours. Now, as Wiley is showing you here,
this is watertight. So, I mean, these are tight seals on here. And it's designed not just to be a beautiful case, but it also is wonderful at holding what is going to be your Abismo. Now, I'm going to take this card out of here because what's great is it's not just a really big case. It's also a watch case for 2 more other watches in your collection. So if you're traveling and you want to make sure that moisture, dust, dirt, I mean, sometimes people, you know, if you're going to take a watch that can go down 1,000 meters, you probably are going to some pretty exciting places. So if you're traveling to the islands, you're heading to the beach, you're out on a boat, you want something that's going to be watertight. And I love the fact that our watch comes in this outstanding case. And it becomes a watch case for 2 more watches.
Yeah, keep in mind, guys, this is your packaging for these watches. Now, they're big. These watches are going to wear like 48 millimeters on the wrist. And I've got item number 274853. That's the SKU for the center one where it says yellow accents. I want to show you a little bit. We'll take a tour around this Abismo.
You keep taking my watch.
Oh, this is your favorite
I
one?
like this one. I mean,
know,
this is the one because
too.
it just popped. You know, you and I are, we think so much
We're
alike.
so in sync.
I know, in sync.
Here, I like the yellow accents. I do like the all black one, but I like the yellow accents because for me, I love a good colorful diver, right? And here, you can see those pops of yellow on the unidirectional bezel where it says Abismo, right above the word automatic, and of course the words Swiss made. I cannot believe that the original Abismo, which was Swiss made automatic movement, but not a Swiss made watch, I used to sell them on the shows for $500. Swiss made watches now for $350. So we're going to show you watches all night long that are super high end, and they're Swiss made automatics like we just saw. Now, of course, it's a completely different style of watch, a completely different heritage of watchmaking. But if you want Swiss made and you can't stomach or swing thousands of dollars, Swiss made automatic right here for $350. Now, you have to love the look, and it is a sporty style, and it's a lot of watch. we're talking about 19.5 millimeters in case thickness. Check out this case back. Oh yeah, baby got case back, right? Baby got case back.
Did you just say that really?
Yeah, oh my gosh. Look at this watch. Well, case backs are really in now, right? It's all about the curves.
I just want to apologize
This is
to
a
everybody.
big watch.
I don't know what's going
hey,
on here.
It's sex sells. This is a sexy watch, right? It's a big watch. Going to wear like a 48 millimeter and then that massive, massive screwed in case back. And that is because this baby can go deeper than you can.
Okay, I just want to stop for a second.
Am I making you uncomfortable?
Slightly. My goodness. Good night, everybody. Now, here's what stands out to me. Okay, for the watch aficionados, we can say it's 1,000 meters.
Exactly.
It will go deeper than you can. When you realize this watch can go down 3,300 feet.
That's like the Marianas Trench, isn't it?
No, not even close. What are you Google Earth presented by you.
It's not like the Marianas Trench.
This is absolutely an amazing timepiece, but it's also a piece of technological construction that is beyond a professional dive watch. That is just incredible. And I think the fact that you can get this for the price of some cheapo knockoff.
Non-Swiss made.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And because of that Sapphitech crystal.
The Sapphitech crystal on these Abisos are about 4 millimeters in thickness. And that is because each individual watch, much like the Abiso's first generation, each individual watch is tested to withstand 1,000 meters of water resistance. Now, we're getting it nice and tight so you can see every single feature on this watch is big and dramatic. The thick, tall bezel. Notice the hour markers all applied inside that dial. How three-dimensional they are. That massive, thick Sapphitech crystal with that 10-year warranty against scratching. And this vibrant dial when you are diving or when it's nighttime.
Do you know, half the weight of this watch is the paint roller of superluminova that they put on this. I mean, there is so much luminescence on this. Now, mind you, you're seeing that under ideal conditions right there, but please note this is designed to be seen. And whether you are underwater or whether you are stepping out into the movie theater, because this watch is going to take you on all of life's adventures, this is an incredible, incredible value. And ideally, that $1,400 price is what it should be at. There are divers out there. Maybe you're one of those people that has bought a dive watch and you've paid close to $1,000 for that incredibly well-designed dive instrument. You don't have to do that tonight. In fact, $58.33 will get this $1,400 watch. Oh, there's 6 stress-free. It's amazing because, you know, usually the 6 payments is not designed for this price point.
Of course not.
But we really want to make sure that folks get a chance to see and to test this watch at home. I don't mean test it by taking it 1,000 meters down because you'll be dead. But if you wanted to take this watch home and take a look at it, we're paying for shipping. And you can see that this is a hardy instrument. But it really needs to be seen on the wrist because even though this is thick and I've got a 6 3/4 inch wrist, even as I slip that on right now, you can see that is not overwhelming. And because of the curvature right there, you can see how the lugs drop down. They don't just flare out. This is about as large of a watch as I could wear.
Oh yeah, it's big.
But I really thought because of the 19 millimeters of thickness, it was going to stand up too far. And believe it or not, you can see that that just rests on the wrist really well. I mean, I'm lifting that up right there, but as it pulls down, it settles in well and it stays in place. This is about as large of a watch as I would wear, but I would comfortably wear this watch. And it really does feel like an expensive timepiece.
So Wiley's got the one on right now that's 274852. We're calling that white accents because there's no additional color. It's just silver tone, black, and white. We've got 1/3 option here that I think you guys are going to like because you like the darker, the more mysterious.
That looks good too.
The all blacked out. Notice how in this one, because everything is black, it really has such a seamless look to it. Even it's a little bit hard for me to tell where case and plating ends and then that strap begins. And notice, if you will, on this one, for example, how thick every single feature is. This is not for the faint of heart or faint of wrist. But with my 6-inch wrist, it's perfectly tight it fits me really, really well. Yes, it's big. I'm not going to tell you that, oh, this is the most comfortable. It fits my 6-inch wrist perfectly. You can see that it's big, but you can also see that it does fit really well on my 6-inch wrist, on his 6 3/4, a 9-inch wrist. This can accommodate up to. That's
a lot of strap.
Yeah, it's a lot of watch and it's a lot of strap. But here's the thing. For those of you out there who have known Swiss Legend for a long time, maybe you've watched the show, maybe you used to watch Swiss Legend on other networks or on our website, you guys know how amazing and popular the Abisos was. It went into retirement. It moved to a golf course community in Boca Raton. We thought we'd never see it again.
That's nice it's come back to visit.
It's visiting us now. No, this is its child. This is the second coming of the Abisos. This is the Abisos.
We do not use hyperbole here, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the Abisos 2.0, $150 less on the show, and Swiss-made, ladies and gentlemen. Swiss-made Abisos 2.0. You'll also notice that, if you've been following along for some time, the Abisos is one of the only original Swiss Legend collections that is being moved to being Swiss-made. We're not doing that with all of our collections. You won't see Swiss-made every single collection. But the Abisos, because it was so popular, because here's something else you guys should know. Many of you think that maybe, I've thought this with other companies or reviews before, you write into a company and you give them your suggestions or your comments and people don't listen. Here, we listen to you. We hear your comments, your messages, we read your emails, your Facebook messages. Every time you guys reach out to us, we are taking all of that into consideration, not just here at WOW TV in our TV department, but in all of our various departments. And we know, can you check his pockets, please? We know how much you guys loved the Abisos. So now that it's available in Swiss made, this is the world debut weekend. Tomorrow, when it hits the internet, when it goes to World of Watches and the show is over and we're at home and, hanging out, not on TV, this watch is going to go up to $1,000.
And worth it.
Oh, it's a Swiss-made automatic 1,000-meter diver. You better believe it's worth it. Right now, $350.
We were talking about the length of this strap, and I realized that some folks are going to wear this because it's a professional instrument. They may wear it most of the time when they have a wetsuit on, and this is going to accommodate that extra.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's just so much thoughtfulness in this watch.
Aren't we so sweet?
But it's not at the price that. I mean, after midnight, go ahead and check the website.
Yeah,
see what we charge.
Don't wait. Don't get it now. We don't care.
No, go ahead and get it now.
And it's on 6 payments. We'll revisit this later on. But as you guys probably tell, if you're looking at your watch right now, we have already made it into our second of 3 hours tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Really?
I know. If you haven't, this probably says 10:10. If you haven't already picked up on it, we are slowing down the pace this weekend to give you guys more time to learn about some of the watches that we're offering, about some of the brands, and because some of you have written in before and said you want more time with items. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're sort of slowing down the pace. We're also just going to jump right into this next little collection, if you will, which is a gift bundle, and I'm super excited about this because I want you guys to get something for mom or for your daughter because May is graduation month, maybe from college or high school, and every single lady's item. I know we're supposed to talk about Twitter, but I'm already in the future. What? Tweet with us, please. You guys are tweeting.
Aren't they? Good.
Oh yeah. But as I was saying, this right here.
Oh, that looks good.
If I had a pick this weekend, this would be it. I am actually, how perfect. You know what's funny? I can never seem to get this right. Last night I wore my ceramic Diamond Bella, and we didn't have any ceramic Diamond Bellas on the show. Tonight I'm wearing my stainless steel Diamond Bella, and we've got the ceramic Diamond Bella. So if you watched the show last night, you know that I personally own this watch right here in black and rose. I cannot believe, I'm actually a little bit miffed that we have this deal because we did not have this deal when I was getting this watch. I'm about to rock everyone's world for a moment. I know. Maybe not the first time tonight, but I'm going to rock it again right now. I want you to see something right here.
Is that right what I'm seeing right
there?
there?
Yes.
Really?
You're going to spend $180 tonight, and essentially you'll be paying for a diamond watch. Now this watch, when we have it on the shows normally, it's about $300. Look, you can see I'm wearing my Bella right now, and last night I had the ceramic one on. This watch is $300 on the show because it is solid ceramic because it has a mother of pearl dial and because you have a half carat of the best quality diamonds Swiss Legend as a brand has ever used. So $180 gets you a half carat of diamonds on a watch. And look, if you will, that these are not little diamond chips. These are 4-prong jeweler set diamonds in that bezel. A whole half carat of them framing that mother of pearl. Now the color combination here, white ceramic, which is the hottest color in ceramic. This is the most popular color you will find out there. And silver tone, beautiful neutral. Here's the other amazing thing. White ceramic, or ceramic in general, non-porous. So this watch is always going to stay perfectly white.
You know, you'll hear me talk sometimes about that phone company that also makes watches. They had to release a memo that their straps and bands have the ability over time to discolor.
Yeah, you were telling me
because they don't make a ceramic strap or band on there. Ladies and gentlemen who may be purchasing tonight, know that it's going to be this stark white for the life of the watch. It cannot discolor. It cannot yellow with time. The oils from your skin will not change it. The environment that you put it in. And it's also, I mean, we did this with your watch the other night.
Yeah, last night.
You would never, ever, ever do not think ceramic as in pottery.
No, no, no.
You need to understand this is an industrial material that even the automobile industry has considered making engines out of ceramic because of their high durability.
They use it on rocket ships.
Absolutely. And I want you to take this titanium pointer and just see that you do not have the ability to scratch this. So ladies, maybe...
Probably going to stab myself. Ow, I just did.
You don't have to be violent with it.
Try to prove a point, Wiley.
But you are, and you're doing a beautiful job. You should not hold sharp objects. But this is just, ladies, if you have a watch that's gotten scratched up, banged up, and you're just afraid something that's this beautiful.
Look at my stainless steel one. It's a mess. It's so sad.
But this watch would look, this watch right here is going to look as good 10 years from now. Because this Sapphitech crystal on here is sapphire.
Yep, Sapphitech
So you've got
crystal.
Sapphitech crystal and that beautiful dome shape there. You have one of the hardest substances in the world, diamonds, and then you have ceramic. This is going to look this good for your lifetime. And that to me, I mean, because we have a 10-year guarantee on that crystal. I mean, good heavens, who else does that? And look at the curvature, again, when you showed that. Ladies, this is going to be as if it was made for you. Husbands, boyfriends, sons who are getting ready to buy mom something great. You have so many high-end elements here. Diamonds, which have intrinsic value. You have mother of pearl, which is, in the watch world, to get a dial with mother of pearl, it costs money because there is a level of failure in manufacture that is a cost factor. That to be able to manufacture that, it's going to be more expensive. And then you have this high-end ceramic, all of it at a price that should be the $935, and at $279, I am proud to offer it at that, and $179, and of course $36 will get it home. I
have made no secret of the fact for the entire time I've worked at World of Watches that the Bella was always my favorite watch. We used to have it, we still do, in just ceramic with no diamonds. And when this came out with diamonds last year, I purchased it literally the night I went home from the show. I love it that much. I can tell you right now with 100% honesty that whether I'm wearing my stainless steel or my ceramic Bellas, I get more compliments on these watches than any other watch that I own. They are unique, they are stunning, and I tell you right now, I wear mine all the time. I would tell any person out there looking to get a gift for a woman, whether she was 20, she was 40, she was 60, or up, every woman can enjoy a watch that is this glamorous and this beautiful.
But you know, just to throw this in here, this is very stylish, but if you have somebody in your world that needs a watch that's easy to read, do you see these numbers? You can see this from across the room. I mean, it's very stylish, it's gorgeous, and for a young person, this really looks very contemporary, very modern. But if you have somebody in your world that maybe, they may be a little older, maybe their vision is not as good. Now, here's what's really great about this. You're not just getting diamonds and mother of pearl and ceramic. There are not just one, but two gifts.
So here's the crazy thing. I'll take this away for 1 second. The deal is this watch, which again is $100 less than it normally is on the show. Right away, let's think about the fact that $180, a half carat of diamonds. So $36, nothing at all. $36 a month, a little over $1 a day for a diamond watch. But the deal, because this watch is discounted for moms for Mother's Day, also includes Kenneth Cole designer sunglasses. This package deal right here was it was actually in the top 3 best-selling collections of last weekend. These are designer frames from Kenneth Cole Reaction that retail on our website for about 60, 70 bucks. Now, I'm showing these to you obviously without the boxes. So this will come in its Swiss Legend box. This will come in its Kenneth Cole Reaction box with the sunglass holder. Here's the thing. These are oversized glamour. We are like all about the glamour.
Okay, this is what I love. Put that watch on and look. For this price, you are getting the sunglasses, you're getting this beautiful Calvin Klein necklace, and you're getting the watch that is just packed with diamonds.
That's right. I was about to mention the watch. I mean the necklace. Thank you.
But it's
look
all
at this
there.
right here. Look at this, people. Come on now. The diamond watch with the designer sunglasses, and remember, every single lady's watch that you purchase this weekend comes with the Calvin Klein necklace that retails. And here's the amazing thing, which I love. I would do this. It actually includes the little tag inside that says the suggested retail of $200, along with the certificate of authenticity. So you're giving someone a diamond ceramic watch, you're giving them designer Kenneth Cole sunglasses, and a Calvin Klein necklace. I'm showing you all the packaging. Certificate of authenticity. It comes in its little travel case, little safety pouch for it. I'm wearing it, as you can see, but I'll take this one out so you can see it, maybe even a little bit closer.
Oh, that looks nice.
This is your whole package here. Imagine being able to give somebody all of these gifts. Or you could space them out. You could just give the watch, maybe for Mother's Day, and then maybe her birthday's in a month, maybe your anniversary. Maybe you just want to surprise her with something special. To me, this deal right here, $272,729, is almost crazy. A diamond watch, designer sunglasses, and a designer piece of jewelry for $36 down. Not each, guys and gals out there. $36 down gets you the necklace, the watch, and the Kenneth Cole designer sunglasses, and they will all come in their original packaging, so you could give them as 3 separate gifts.
You know, if you add up the suggested retail price of the watch, $900, suggested retail price of the necklace, $200, that's $9, $10, $11, and then, you know,
These
basically...
are probably about $150.
So you've got...
Let's say $1,200, $1,100.
Oh, yeah. I would wrap up each one of these individually, hide them around the house, have a little scavenger hunt, leave all the retail prices on there, and just go, baby, you're worth it. And you don't have to tell them you only spent $36 to get it home.
And please don't use that voice either, because it just gave me shivers.
No, that's my very white voice. Baby, you're worth it. You need to know it. Because you're getting Kenneth Cole, Calvin Klein, and Swiss Legend. You are worth it. Go, ladies, do not wait for the man to buy this for you. You independent, strong woman, you.
That's
you
right.
Buy that tonight and just say,
ladies.
How many of these we have left?
Okay, that's the thing. You keep doing this.
There's a voice inside my ear telling me stuff. It doesn't say, oh, let Megan say it. It's just saying it.
Shit, that's underlying, okay? Isn't that in the contract?
It's in the contract.
So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually really bummed about this.
Yeah.
We only have 2 remaining of this right now.
My voice said 3.
No.
Did we just sell another one?
Another one. We only have 2 remaining of this deal. So the next 2 people to put down $36 on any major credit card get a $200 Calvin Klein necklace, a designer pair of Kenneth Cole sunglasses, and a diamond ceramic watch.
Which is faster, calling or go on the website? Which is faster?
1 remaining now. Oh
which
my
is
gosh.
faster? Quick, calling
One
in
remaining.
Calling in or website?
It doesn't matter. It's about to go.
No, there might be somebody. They're racing
Go to the
phone.
website or call. I have no idea. I don't know. Don't put me in this pressure. I just sell the stuff. I don't know about customer service. Go to the website. It's probably faster, if we're being honest. 272-729. Congratulations to the next person that picks this up. Ladies, if you're getting this for yourself, I love you. Guys, well, you're going to be getting some love too. Let's just say that. All right. Here we go. Oh, we just got a nice tweet in from Bobby who said, my fiance loves her Diamond Swiss Legend and sent in a lovely photo of them, and she's wearing a watch right there. Thank you guys so much for all of these tweets. We absolutely love them. And thank you, Keith, for all the very nice compliments. You're kind of embarrassing me.
No, that's really nice.
No, I'm just kidding. I love it. Please keep tweeting in how great Wiley and I look.
Thank you. Apparently they don't have high definition. You know, Sterling Watches traces their history back to the 1800s when Max Sterling was manufacturing watch movements for other manufacturers. And he was a great designer, he was a great watchmaker, and he did not have a chance to really see that company flourish into what it has become today. Now, his great-grandson, Max Sterling, in 1999, reinvigorated the company. And through the Sterling Originals, he went back to try to find designs and elements that are hearkening back to the watchmaker's craft. Now, there's some of the designs that are absolutely unique and original, and some that throw back to a completely different era. Now, we're delighted to be able to just now, if you're joining us right now, welcome to Swiss Watch International World of Watches, and we have some of the best in watches out there. And tonight we are glad to offer one of our newest additions to the World of Watch family, Sterling Original. Now, this is the Aqua Diver. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a 52-millimeter case.
Oh,
it is
yeah,
a big and bold watch. Now, you wouldn't have found that back in the 1800s, but because that is the trend right now, they're right on the cutting edge. I love the fact that Sterling is a company with such deep roots, yet they're willing to step out and embrace what is contemporary. Now look at that. What stands out to you about this style? First, it is that pattern. It's not going to be quite like anything else you've seen out there. Also, if I can get the light to hit it just right, there is this beautiful star that is actually the second hand, or your sweep hand. And it really, these are elements that stand out. Sterling Original really does want to be an original designer of watches.
Now, this is an in-house automatic movement from Sterling. It's the ST-90555. What you get there is a 30-joule movement with 36 hours of power reserve.
I love the fact that we have three, unique colors that you would not necessarily think to find from a company that dates back to the 1800s. But these really do pop. You have the one with the red accents, the one with the yellow accents, one with the green accents. And each of them has their own personality. One of my favorite colors is green. And I love the fact that we have three different varieties to offer. Now,
we have a stoplight, do you see?
What?
Red, yellow, green.
Oh, look at you.
I know.
I did not even think that way because I'm thinking about watches. But
I'm thinking about first grade.
I realized, this will also let you know that this is a screw-down crown because I'm going to put that back in there. These watches are really fantastic because they are a great value. You're getting something unique and original that should be a whole lot more expensive. But we're delighted tonight that you're able to get these at a fraction of the price. Now, because this is hearkening back to the watchmaker's craft, now you can see I just opened this wonderful dual push button, dual deployant clasp on here. But you can also see into the back of the watch, which is going to give you as much delight as staring into that dial. And as they're coming in even closer, I want you to take a peek in there because that decoration that you see on the dial has been mimicked in that same sort of machining on the rotor. And you're staring into the beating heart of the watch. You can see, is that a perlage or Côte de Genève on that, that bridge right there?
Oh, that's Côte de Genève.
Is it good? And then behind that is perlage because it's that little perlage literally means pearl-like, and you can see these pearl-like swirls in there that give it almost a luminescence that's just simply the way it's catching the light. All of these things are hand done, and it is what gives extra value to the watch, something you would normally not see in a watch for $179. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not let these low prices convince you that somehow you are getting an inexpensive watch. Only in its cost, not in its content. And that's why we're partnering with Sterling to offer you a $945 watch or at the wow price of $269, which it'll be at midnight tonight. But tonight, for those of you that know the secret of the show, Megan and I offer you the best prices possible during the program. $179.99 or $45 gets it home.
You know what's interesting is we just got a tweet in that was referencing something I was thinking about wanting to mention. I don't want to say the exact brand name, but last night, the very last watch we had on the show that we presented live was a $45,000 watch that we had for $14,000. This watch, as our viewer Bill tweeted him, is sort of an homage to that in a really well done way because of that dodecagonal unidirectional bezel. That's the shape of this bezel.
Oh, the $45,000 watch that is so much associated with yachting and admiral-esque kind of stuff. This is in that shape and that style. It's
inspired by that. So, of course, you know what's kind of cool is we do this with our own brands. You guys see it with other brands. It's not just related to watches. I mean, handbags, shoes, clothes, jewelry, everybody does it. Things are inspired by other things. And it's kind of nice, as our viewer Bill tweeted in, that this is a really cool homage to that. You have a very similar design, nowhere near the same thing. We are not saying that this watch is anywhere near what that watch is. Of course, we know that. That's a
the other one was 18 karat
solid
gold
watch.
Yeah.
But that same sort of unique shape, that it's called dodecagonal ratcheting bezel here, that unique shape, that very cool broken out sub-dial there that shows you your continuous running seconds, that has that almost nautical star on it. It's got that cool inspiration. And if you love those looks and you want to figure out, well, I can't, put a BMW on my wrist, how about something like this? Something that's got a similar design. Now, I'm showing you item number 272270 because it matches my nails. It's green. But Wiley's got another one.
Well, I love the fact that this is a 38-jewel automatic movement. You're never going to have to buy batteries for this watch because a simple motion of your wrist is going to power it. Now, I also love the fact that they could have, at this price point, used a hardened mineral crystal. Instead, they use their proprietary Eterna crystal on here, which is going to give you an extra level of protection against scratching. It may not be as hard as sapphire, but you're also not paying the sapphire price. It's allowing you to have a lot of watch for a fraction of the price. Again, this is a 6 3/4-inch wrist. This is a 52-millimeter watch, but look at that. It fits wonderfully on there. And there is a generous amount of strap that you're going to be able to adjust to specifically your wrist, and it's always going to fit just right because of this dual deployant clasp that's on here. Now, which one do you like best? Do you have a favorite between the red, the yellow, and the green?
I'm really liking the way this yellow looks against the black.
That's it.
That's the one you like? Oh,
I
sorry.
do.
But I was just about to say, hello.
Hello, pick me.
Hello. I like this one too. I like them all. I mean, sorry, I keep putting my hand in. Sorry, guys, it's my first show.
You have beautiful nails, though. I have to say that. For press-on, they really are attractive.
I like them all. I think the yellow's the most vibrant. The green does look cool with the black. It's kind of hard. That's the thing. You've got $45 to put down. So if you even get 2 home, you can decide from there. Oh.
Okay, that every woman within a mile of here just went, oh, because, okay, here it comes. A designer that you will know, Michael Kors. Since 1981, he has been just the bomb in the fashion world.
I believe the kids say da bomb.
Thank you, Ms. Colloquial. I appreciate that for helping me out there. This is a designer watch. It should have a designer price on it, and usually it does. Are you taking my watch?
Trade me, yeah.
You like that one better, don't you?
No, I got presentation.
Oh, you've got more bling to show. Even on my hairy-knuckled hand, this watch still looks great. Folks, so ladies, if you've got hairy knuckles, please buy this watch.
I love the Parker chronograph. Girls, if you love a blinged out style, Michael Kors does so many different
kinds. This looks so good. It really does.
Of variations of watch. This 38 millimeter is, are you looking at your?
I am, because you know where I went last week?
You went to the mall.
I did, and because I hunted down these watches, and I have a card. Ooh. I cannot show you. I can show you the name right there.
Yeah, you can show the name.
I can show the name right there. This is from the
Michael Kors store.
And under my fingers are their prices. I can't show somebody's name there. But do you see the prices for the other watch? Now, this was the leather one. These are much, much more expensive They're at the retail price. The Parker chronograph, they are selling at the retail price. And you know what? People are paying it, and they're delighted. I had to wait 2 customers deep just to get the price.
Really? And she was like, I wonder
And I'm like,
about
I
him.
have a very special lady in my world named Megan who'd like one of these watches. And she said $395. And all the others that are on here are at the retail price.
Of course.
But we have it because of our relationship with Michael Kors, because of our ability to sell at a much higher rate than they do, because, you know, even with DirecTV, they've got 22 million customers. That's a lot of people tuning in. We're able to offer these and try to go into their store, and this is not an insult on them. They serve a purpose. But ask them, hey, can I take the watch home not at the list price, but at what I saw on TV, and can I have 4 stress-free payments?
Absolutely not. That's what they're going to tell you.
But here's what you're going to love. As we switch over, not just to this close-up shot, folks, if you're just tuning in, we have something very special tonight. And it's not just the discounts that you're seeing right here. It's also that there are gifts to be given with this. And if you like bling, I want you to see the next shot, which is not my wrist. It is the beautiful wrist of Megan. And what she is holding is something very special. Tell them all about it.
So here's the Michael Kors watch. It's a 38 millimeter. You've got the T-bar style lugs. I should show you that first, of course. The T-bar style lugs are great because the watch itself will fit even a much smaller wrist than my 6 inches. And that's because the lugs sort of pull the bracelet around your exact anatomy, if you will. It allows the watch to begin conforming to your wrist immediately. So assuming your wrist is at least a little bit thicker than the top to bottom of this watch, which I should certainly hope so, you'll be able to wear this watch, and then the bracelet will just conform to you exactly. And girls, you could have up to an 8-inch wrist for this bracelet. Now, again, that bling with Michael Kors, remember, you're getting the Calvin Klein gift with purchase. So this beautiful necklace, as you can see right there, that features that faceted stone on there with that almost mirrored like reflection behind it. In the gold plating, it's a perfect gift set because they both match. But if you're spacing out the gifts, as we had suggested earlier, you could give the rose tone variation, which I will show that one as well. I actually want to do a side-by-side comparison. I like yellow gold plating because, or yellow gold in general, because obviously there's more yellow gold things out there. More people have yellow gold. So maybe it's a bit easier to wear. But rose is so beautiful and so warm and inviting. And with rose, I find that it really does warm the skin. It's such a flattering color on all skin tones. Gold, more traditional, more classic. Notice how they are both so incredibly blinged out. You'll notice here that every single inch of that dial is set with crystals. There are even crystals inside the subdials. Now, funny enough, it's still, I'm going to try and tilt this just right, it is still a fully functioning chronograph movement. It's actually the VD53 quartz chronograph movement. So you do have that functionality in there. Now, that's, of course, just to give it this beautiful, blinged out, sporty look, but it is still a working chronograph. 2 rings of those crystals in the bezel. And then everything on this watch, highly, highly mirror polished. So again, the rose-plated one right here, 266483. No, excuse me. 266484. 266484. 266483 for gold tone. And whichever way you go, you get the Calvin Klein necklace. How nice that the watch retails for $400. You're paying $279. The necklace retails for $200. You're paying goose egg. Big old zero there for that. So 2 all-American designers that are sold in high-end department stores all over the world, and it's going to set you back $70 a month to get the package deal. Yes, Wiley.
No, I was just, while you were selling these watches, I was Googling, which is
saw
what I have
your-
everybody do. Folks, you need to know that 2 major department stores actually have this watch on sale, but it does not have the blinged out crystals. It's only around the bezel.
Okay.
And their sale price right now is $20 more than what we're offering this, which is the step up, and you get the necklace.
The amazing thing is, you're always going to save more with us. You guys know that from watching the shows. You have the option of the stress-free payments. Imagine going into the department store and saying, all right, I will open up that store credit and save an additional 20%, and you put it on the credit card there, you could pay that off on your own. Sure, you could make those minimum payments every month.
But it's at 14, 25% interest.
Oh my God, yeah, it's crazy. That's the high interest rates you'll accrue. Here, though, stress-free equals interest-free. You will never accrue interest with us. What you see is what you get. $70 a month. Take advantage, ladies, this weekend. Gentlemen, buying for ladies. Even if her birthday is in a month or two, and you're thinking, well, you'll just tune in then for something. The Calvin Klein necklace is this weekend only. And that comes, again, as I showed you, in its own packaging with the certificate of authenticity. So you're going to give her 2 designer gifts. Or maybe it's not in the budget to give her 2 gifts. Maybe you give mom 1 gift and your own wife the watch, or however you want to slice it. The necklace comes with everything, and the watches are over $100 off what they are currently selling for in stores right now.
We are getting ready to just take it up a notch, or
a
2,
couple.
or a lot. This is for that very, very special lady in your world. This, we're showing you, Austrian crystals. We are showing you things that have wonderful gold plating. We're showing you things that really, just in so many different ways, you can go, that's really trying to be what? This is the arrival point. Now, I want Megan to just take a moment, and I want her to just maybe decide. And Jenny, you get to pick 2, because, we have some beautiful ladies here that have exceptionally good taste, and you get to see, Jenny, you get to see a lot of different stuff. Do you have a favorite when you look at these? Oh, wow.
I love, which one?
Okay.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Really? Why this one? Why does this stand out to you?
Well, the black one, the black dial stands out to me, I think, maybe the most, but this one is the most unique, and you never think to see rose and a rich gunmetal like that.
It really stands out. This is not gold tone. Now, mind you, Maurice Lacroix, because of the name, because of the craftsmanship, because it is Swiss all the way around, you might see a higher price point. But this price is telling you this is 18 karat solid rose gold in this case. And I want you to see that front and back is the solid gold. This is not a thin. Now, I have a beautiful white gold men's dress watch, but it is thin. And you can tell that it was value priced, if you will. And I love the watch. It's a smaller watch, not this small, but this is a heavy, thick gold case. That's why that traditional price of $10,000 is what you should be paying retail, and our $7,000 price is about right. Maybe I would say the wow price of $7,000, maybe a little high, because there was, when I went to that jewelry store in the mall, their least expensive solid gold watch was $5,000. So let's just go ahead and say that the wow price should be $5,000. Maybe we've got a little high on there for $7,000.
Well, remember, there's genuine diamonds in the bezel.
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. You were correct. Well, okay, then our price was
missing
correct.
that?
Well, no, I did actually. I was focusing on the fact that the other solid gold one that I saw, this is the one you like the best. Take this one.
I know, I'm just prying them all from your hands right now. I'll try a different one on first.
This is beautiful, because I'm wearing a gold watch tonight. I'm wearing 18 karat gold, and what a lovely. In fact, I'm wearing a 18 karat Maurice Lacroix solid gold watch, and this would be the perfect complement to that. So, gentlemen, if you have this, an 18 karat gold watch, then you should buy one for your lady.
Well, gentlemen, I would assume if you bought yourself an 18 karat gold watch, you've already had to buy her a watch, because if you were dating or married to me, that would have already been.
What does that tell you? Megan is high maintenance.
Just a little bit, maybe.
This is beautiful. It really is.
I'm going to show you the black dial, because I think a lot more ladies out there are going to love this one. Because this, of course, looks the richest, right? You've got that beautiful black dial. Notice how it is a 2-piece dial. You've got some almost like a satin texture, a satin shine to that outer edge where those hour markers are. It is an automatic. It is an in-house modified automatic from an ETA 2824. You've got genuine diamonds set into that bezel. Of course, you are talking about near flawless, what I like to call engagement quality diamonds. They are 28 millimeter cases.
You're good. I measured it. I bet she doesn't know that.
Oh, I know this. Of course, I know these. I know the solid gold watches. And it's not just solid gold case. Sorry, I should have not done that so quickly.
Okay,
It is also solid gold buckle.
One of the things I wanted to do is to look at this watch more closely. For those of you that your high definition TV is not going to capture this, these really are jewelry quality stones in here. Now, understand that some of the watches we offered tonight, the color, cut, clarity, and carat weight is going to determine the value of a diamond. And guys, how close? If I hold this even closer to the camera, can you get in as tight as possible? I'm going to hold this give them a chance. We're going to go a beauty shot, and then I'm going to move. And then Megan is going to take this watch, and I want them to get as close as possible, because my late uncle was a jeweler, and he, I don't wear a lot of jewelry, but when I do, I want it to be the very best. I want you to see that the fire and brilliance in these fully faceted, oh, you guys are good. These are in, I'm going to say probably, if I'm taking a best guess here, are probably at least H in color. There is exceptional clarity. Understand that with certain things like necklaces and earrings, you're allowed to use a less of a clarity in the diamond, because it's no way for it to come up to the eye. A ring quality diamond is one that can be brought very close to the eye, and hopefully to the naked eye it will be visibly clear. I want you to see under high definition how visibly clear these stones are. What does that mean? It means that when the light hits it, you're going to see all the sparkle and brilliance and dynamics that makes diamonds valuable. This is where some of your money is going tonight, because this type of bezel usually is very, very expensive. That's why the $7,000 Megan, Mason, that's my son. Megan corrected me instantly about, here's where your money's going. It's in the diamonds and the gold. $5,000 would be correct for this watch if it was just gold. The diamonds right here are gorgeous. I have no problem with you spending $416 to get this home. Look at it under a jeweler's loupe and look at what you're getting. Gentlemen, if you know jewelry, if you know what you're purchasing tonight, ladies, if you know, it is gorgeous. And I love the fact that they're able to get this shot so that you can see what we're seeing in the studio, the fire and brilliance of incredibly high quality diamonds.
I want to turn it around while we've got this close shot.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at that
that's
right there.
Gorgeous.
You can see that this is a marvel even through the case back. Notice the heartbeat of your watch, the heartbeat of that movement inside. You can see the Maurice Lacroix logo etched out in that Côte de Genève designed and decorated rotor. Yes, it's $2,500. But it's an $1,100 solid gold and diamond watch.
11,000.
$11,000.
You said 1,100.
Oh, yeah,
let's you try to get this in the jewelry store for that.
$11,000 watch, and we've got it for $2,500. These are hand-built watches. 3 different color variations to choose from. We'll start on the left and move over from there. The first one on the left is the black dial, 260241. Center is the silver dial. That's the first item number, 260239. And then my personal favorite, even though it is a toss-up between the black dial and this last one, I do love the gray dial the most, the gunmetal, 260240. $417 a month. Yeah, nothing to sneeze at. We're talking about a lot of money.
But well worth it. The intrinsic value is in the material.
It's always going to, exactly. It's always going to be worth more than you paid for it. You are talking about commodities here. Solid gold and diamonds. After midnight tonight, the price goes up, what, 3 times, more than 3 times? Still a huge savings off the $11,000. But do that math for a moment. $11,000 down to $2,500. You make your first payment tonight, and the watch, it's on its way to you in a matter of days, probably by tomorrow or Tuesday. Please enjoy. Congratulations to whomever gets this exceptional deal. All right. Well, something very exciting. Wiley, do you want to tell them what's coming up right now?
You know, just earlier this year, Bulova was proud to pronounce that they have a new design and watch for you. And you were excited last year, and certainly in this year, in seeing the Precisionist, and that's all over the jewelry stores. But we have been asked to present and help to distribute to the world the ultra-high frequency from Bulova. And I want you to see a bit of a video that's coming up, and you're going to get to see a little bit of the inner workings of what's going on and what makes this special. And after you see this, we're going to give an in-depth explanation as to why this is such an incredible watch and why we're so glad to be premiering it this weekend with you.
All right, take a look at this, guys.
Since 1875, Bulova has been creating beautiful timepieces. That's 140 years of watchmaking craftsmanship. What I hold in my hand today is one of those culminations. Now, if you've seen us on the show, we're pretty excited about the Precisionist, which is the world's most accurate quartz movement. Well, if it were to have a sibling or an offspring, it has to be the ultra-high frequency. And what you're seeing in beautiful high definition there are two selections tonight that are going to allow you to step into the 21st century, but also harken back to another era with these beautiful military-style watches. Now, we're going to give you a little bit of explanation, and if you're just joining us, we have such an exciting timepiece to show you. You see, the ultra-high frequency stands for the fact that, well, watches used to be entirely mechanical or automatic. And time telling is told by the oscillation or the movement of something like a pendulum for a grandfather clock or a balance wheel for an automatic or mechanical watch or timepiece. Then in the 1960s, Bulova would create Accutron, and you saw pictures of that moments ago. They created an electronic watch, and instead of using a balance wheel that is made of metal, they began to branch out and try something different by using the new electronics that were so popular in the 60s, really coming back out of the 50s. But it would be Seiko who would introduce the very first quartz movement. And what they found was that quartz, being silicon dioxide, that if it were pressed or pushed, it would have a piezoelectric reaction. Piezo from the Greek meaning to press or to compress or squeeze. And what would happen is it would begin to give off an electrical current. Well, if you were to shape that quartz into, say, the shape of a tuning fork and then reverse the process and apply electricity to it, such as a watch battery, it would cause that little tuning fork to then oscillate or vibrate. Well, now you have the ability to tell time, just like a moving pendulum or a balance wheel. So for the first time, Seiko was able to take a quartz tuning fork to be able to tell time with it by measuring that oscillation, and it was registering at 32 kilohertz. Well, that was a whole lot better than a mechanical watch or an automatic, which was resonating at 3 to 5 kilohertz. Bulova was able to now do what nobody else has ever been able to do. They have improved the quartz movement. You see, an automatic watch or a mechanical is accurate to within 5, 10, maybe 15 seconds per day. Even a certified chronometer is only accurate to within 10 seconds per day. A traditional quartz movement, do you have a quartz movement on your wrist right now?
I do.
Then that's accurate to within 10 to 15 seconds per month.
It's pretty good.
But because this is resonating with a tri-prong or a 3-head tuning fork inside, laser etched out of quartz, it's not resonating at 32 kilohertz, but at 262 kilohertz, 8 times the resonance. It also means an accuracy of not 10 to 15 seconds per month, but 10 seconds per year. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to offer you the ultra high frequency watch from Bulova. Now, it comes in a lot of different varieties and styles, but tonight we're going to show you a few of these, and this is the military collection. Now, mine is on this incredibly unique green nylon strap. And you're going to see that it is incredibly comfortable, and unlike the precisionist, which is a large case and movement, look at how they have refined it with the next step in evolution in the precisionist, the ultra high frequency, and look how thin that case is. Not big, not bulky. And this coin edge harkens back on the bezel to a different era. And this really is a military style. It is easy to tell the time. It's one of those watches you want to take on all of life's adventures. And you're also having the most accurate quartz movement on the planet. Now, you'd have to have a watch tied to an atomic clock, radio controlled, in order to have it more accurate. But this is autonomous. It does not have to have another source to provide that. And they've even taken the detail, for it being a tough watch, it has a screw-down back. It has a screw-down crown that's going to add to its water resistance. And you need to see this watch not just in hand, but on the wrist. And if you love it in this green nylon, and you'd like to even take it up to a different look, then you have to see it with the brown leather strap. And Megan's going to put that on, and you're going to be able to see that it looks great on either a man or a lady's wrist. Do you remember how big this is?
These are 42 millimeters.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. I'm checking it.
I will try this on with the leather right now. The cool thing, as Wiley said, is these are an homage to an earlier generation.
Oh.
These are watches that are cushion-shaped cases, so they're going to wear a little bit bigger.
Like it measures a 44.
Yeah, it's going to wear a little closer to a 43 and a half, 44 millimeter, because keep in mind you do have the extended areas around the cushion-shaped case. But here's the thing. This is a 1940s inspired design. Bulova did a collection in the 1940s, a military collection that they have now rejuvenated into the UHF. So here is how this watch, a little bit maybe dressier because it doesn't have the tactical kind of nylon strap. Now you've got that medium brown, genuine leather with the white stitching. It's so comfortable. It's already going to feel broken in. A 6-inch wrist, and it's not even on the tightest closure. So by all means, many, many people can get into and enjoy this watch. This is the kind of thing that, in some ways, that dial, because notice how the crystal is slightly raised above it. Of course, being that it is hearkening back to the 1940s, it's going to look like an acrylic or hesselite crystal, which would have been on this in the 1940s. So you get that slightly bubbled look, just raised up ever so slightly. Oh, there's one of the alarms going off.
Time for me to take my pill, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back.
Of the watch that I set earlier.
That is right. You were testing to see if we had said it right.
Okay.
You did. Congratulations.
So those Swiss Legend Deltas and those Luminox watches, they work. So everybody that's getting a Swiss Legend Delta or a Luminox Atacama, congratulations. You're going to have a very good alarm on there.
Do you know what I love about this? You were absolutely right. This harkens back to that 1940s military style, but you have really the culmination of the finest 21st century movement. So you get to have that vintage feel, but you get to have it with the most advanced movement out there. Now, I want you to see a completely different variety, and I love this, because Megan, you know, she lets me pick whichever watch I get to wear, and I love the fact that this nylon...
So that way you can never say I'm too mean.
You are never too mean, my dear. This watch is so comfortable, and there is a feel about it that really feels like home. There is a... I want to take this watch somewhere. I want to go somewhere. It's 100 meters of water resistance.
You could go somewhere.
I mean, you can with this because it is a tough watch, and because you've got the screw down crown, you have the screw down back, 100 meters of water resistance. Yet it's in this 21st century movement that is as accurate as what's more accurate than anybody else's watch out there. You notice the smooth, fluid motion of that sweep hand. Now, if you look down at home at your quartz watch, is it ticking? Is it just click, click, click per second? because of the resonance of this watch, which Bulova says is in harmony, the kilohertz of this watch is in harmony with the Earth's gravity. It's just supposed to have a natural frequency to it that makes it even controls the temperature inside more accurately for a more accurate watch. It's really not saying it's more accurate, it's accurate.
The cool thing about these watches, whether you get it with the nylon strap, which is item number 272794, or with the brown leather that I had on, they're going to go up to 9 inches in strap length. You saw that they can be sized down under a 6-inch wrist. And the amazing thing is that they look like something that's been in your family. It looks like something that maybe you grew up seeing your grandfather wear. It has that beautiful design to it, and then yet you know it's very, very modern. Now, these premiered this year at Basel World.
That's
This
right.
is not something that came out a year or two ago that we've got for a discount. This is Bulova's brand new collection. And hopefully, within the coming weeks, especially before Father's Day next month, we will get even more designs to share with you. We do have another variation of the UHF that is coming up later on tonight. Chronograph. So you get that accuracy that you get with the precisionist movement, but it's a bit more pared down as far as you don't have the 1/1000th of a second accuracy. You can do the precisionist for that. You have more of a standard chronograph here. You have more of the minutes, the hours. Here, it's a more basic, if you will, chronograph, and yet it is the exact same style of accuracy. It's also the same exact size. Now, in these two color variations, which we will get to in just a bit, item number for the one on the left is 272796. Item number on the right is item number 272805. Of the two that we've got right here, the one on the right is my favorite. And actually, we're going to bring them out right now, and we're going to just air them for you. Rather than wait, we're going to air the chronographs right now.
How much was the watches we had before? They were was $179. What was it?
They were $276.
Okay, but look at how much, you know, here, I'm Googling while we're not on camera. I'm looking at the major department stores have it for so much more than what we're offering it for. In fact, the watches that you're seeing on the screen right now, there's a major department store that has it for $60 more. They're doing a sale, and it's still $60 more than what we have it right now. And when I did my little excursion last time to explore to find more watches, to find out what the world is offering them at, they didn't even have these. You can't find them.
The chronographs?
Well, the ultra high frequency.
Oh, yeah, they just came out. And we got that video that we showed for you guys. You pick your favorite. We
like
got
them
the
both.
video that we showed them. That's my favorite.
Is it really? Then I like this one.
We got that direct from Bulova to be able to share with you. So this is something that is so new that we here as a company are one of the first people to be able to share these.
Jenny, do you have a precisionist over there? We may not have one tonight, but here's what's you're really going to be excited about. Because we do have precisionist, and it's a big, bold watch. It's one of my favorite watches. And here's what you're going to love about ultra high frequency. And I love the fact that the ultra high frequency, you're going to love this too. When you think about, I'm going to hold this straight onto the camera. When you think about the ultra high frequency, you think about precisionist, you think about a watch, and I'm going to put this in shot just real quick, that is thick. Because the precisionist movement has to be to maintain the chronograph and the other functions in there. And now as we switch back to our watch tonight, look at this. You're going to love it. The ultra-high frequency has taken the chronograph with all of that precision and put it into something that thin.
And yet you still get great accuracy with these because you get down to 1/10 of a second. Look, I'm just going to start this one if you don't mind.
Yeah, now if you want a precisionist, you're going to be down to 1/1000th of a second, and that's why the movement is larger. But most folks don't need that type of accuracy in the chronograph. Now, as accuracy of time, please know that both the ultra-high frequency and the precisionist run at 262 kilohertz, which is 8 times faster than the watch on your wrist right now. And this one is going to be accurate to within 10 seconds per year. Now, this vintage style looks so cool to me, and I love the fact that it has all of this. Look at the smooth, fluid movement. Why? Because of its ability to keep track of time that accurate. This is in such a vintage style. Don't you love this beige or ivory dial? And I love the fact that they've done that reverse date window here, because usually those dials are white with black lettering. They've done the black dial with the white lettering. It's things that watch collectors are going to look at and go, okay, that's nice. I love the fact that it has this contrast stitching on here and that each little element of the watch complements. There's nothing on here that shouts at you. It just feels like it's an old friend. And it's one of those watches that if you're looking for something unique, no one else has this. You're going to have a hard time finding folks who have the ultra-high frequency Bulova watches. And of course, you have that coin edge, and it doesn't just look good in this beautiful beige dial with this black strap. Look at how just a little color variation changes its personality.
This is my favorite. Of course, I know it's a little bit more fashion forward maybe, but for you guys out there that aren't afraid to try something a little bit different, or I know my boyfriend goes through this when he's like getting dressed. He has to dress up very nice for work. Maybe you have a hard time deciding the brown shoes or the black shoes, what watch is going to look right. Here, it's going to go with both. You've got the rich, almost cognac brown leather strap, and then the black ionic plating on the case and bezel, matching that black dial. Again, a little bit more fashion forward than the true vintage color combo. But I love this one. Also, you get that quick visibility, right? Just you can see very vividly those white numerals, the hands, which are quite large, right on the dial there, and then how everything just stands out and pops. Gentlemen, you will be easily able to wear this every single day underneath the cuff of a dress shirt. Ladies, if you're like me and you love vintage military-inspired designs, I always tell you guys how much I love them. Normally, I say that with Bell & Ross or Ben & Sons, our own brands. I love vintage military-inspired designs. And now that Bulova has that, but you get the accuracy that we all love so much in the precisionist, because Bulova makes precisionist for ladies. This to me is so well done. It's so cool. And you are getting something before most of the world. This just debuted at Basel World back in March. So this is something that so few people have already been able to get, and yet we're already here at $200 off retail and at 4 stress-free payments. $75 a month. You make your first payment tonight. You've got May, June, July is your last payment, and yet this entire time you've been wearing this watch. Now the one that was just on my wrist, item number 272805. The more classic variation that Wiley just showed was item number 272796. These a little bit more money, of course, than the chronograph. Than the 3-hand. So you have to decide for yourself which one speaks to you. I like the chronograph. I like the sporty look, but it was nice with the clean lines of the 3-hand. Everything is at WorldofWatches.tv, the whole weekend lineup. Perhaps before the show ends tonight, we can remind you guys of all of these.
Oh, and I'll tell you, one of the things that, and I love the fact that you did point out what you like, and that is, you know, I have friends that when I ask them, what do you want in a watch? And I'm looking for things with all the bells and whistles and all the stuff that just, you know, pops. I don't know how many times people say, I want it simple.
Yeah.
I just want a simple dial. I want a 3-hand watch. I don't want all of this. I love the buttons. I love all the functions. We've got some cool stuff that you're going to see in a little bit that does everything in the world. There are folks out there, and maybe you're one of them, that you love the simple. And you want it to be uncomplicated and just a glance tells you the time. We have your watch. So we're so glad you've joined us. And is it really our last hour?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. One more hour to go, and that is it. And remember, the prices go up and the stress-free payments go away at midnight tonight Eastern. So you want to make sure that you get your orders in before then. Of course, you can see Twitter down there. You guys have been amazing on Twitter tonight. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know. We're getting a lot of great feedback about the slower pace. Do you like that we're taking a bit more time every hour? Or do you like when we have 30 options a show? Remember, we still have a ton of watches at WorldofWatches.tv.
Like 500.
Oh yeah, even though right now we're only going to go through a few in the weekend, we take a whole bunch of watches and we give them the TV price and the stress-free payments. So by all means, definitely go to WorldofWatches.tv and check out the entire lineup for the weekend. We're going to jump right now into our first collection of our last and final hour together for this weekend. Any minute.
Oh.
Speaking of classic.
This is nice. And you know, these always do so well. And I love the fact that we have, we have these in our collection. You know, Rotary is one of those companies that they do such a classic design. And, you know, if you're looking for something that really has history and heritage to it, then you need to consider Rotary. Since 1895, they have been building incredible watches. And tonight, if you're looking for, well, let's say a skeletonized movement, and you're looking for something that is still going to be easy to read, because sometimes with a skeletonized movement, you just go, okay, I can't really tell the time well, it's beautiful, it's a piece of art, I love to look at it. But you just need to know that this is that watch that if you're looking for a unique piece, if you're looking for something that's not quite like everybody else's watch, with a skeletonized movement, but yet still has some other element, that's still an easy-to-read watch. Of course, you've got the classic Roman numerals on there, and there is quite a bit of texturing within that dial. Because, let's see if I can look right in here, you can see that kind of cutaway where there is, and as they come in even closer, you're going to be able to see what I'm talking. There you go, that's perfect. There is this silky, almost mother-of-pearl-esque tone that's coming through. And then you have this second dial that's laid on top of it, but then you have the cutaway that allows you to look into the beating heart of the watch, and you get to see the beautiful decoration that's in there. Often with a watch that has such a beautiful movement, you have to take it off and see the exhibition back. Well, of course, this has that, with that custom rotor in there, but tonight you can see it just as much in the dial as you do in this beautiful exhibition back.
Notice right there where my finger is pointing?
Yes.
A numbered limited edition. There are only 500 of these watches per color combo made for the entire world. And we here at World of Watches have some of the last of them available in the world. So think about spending $90 on a watch that only 499 other people are going to have. I mean, we see that in $10,000 watches, $15,000, you know, watches that, okay, there's some exclusivity here. $90, and you have something that so few people will ever get to own and is so special to you, the owner, or to you to be able to give that as a gift.
You know, there's so much high mirror polish, I shouldn't do this, but you can actually see into the studio because of the bling that's on this watch. They've put such a beautiful shine on it. And even though our fingerprints are getting on it, it still is just really showing off the watch. And it's really hearkening back to a much older and different time. You know, the first watches that were worn on the wrist were pocket watches that people were basically putting straps and bracelets on so that they could wear them more conveniently. You'll notice in this beauty shot here that the crown is up there at more of the 2 o'clock position. This is hearkening back to a completely different era. And I really wish we would not have put the price up yet so that we could have built it up with a little suspense. Because if we said we have a watch from Rotary, a company that has been around since 1895, we have a skeletonized movement, it is a decorated movement, it is a limited edition to only 500 for the planet per color, and then revealed the price of $995, folks would go, okay, wow, that's really worth it. And then if we had cut that price in half to $500, it would have been amazing. And then the $139, people would begin to question our sanity. But there's no way you're taking us seriously at $89.99.
You know what's interesting about these two, and I want you to just hold this for a moment. Notice how inside my dial, you see a bit more of that skeletonized dial, but you can also see how it's been beautifully decorated. And the escapement is peeking out right here at the 8 o'clock position. I'm calling this a two-tone because you've got silver tone to go with all the gold plating. Wiley's in all gold plating, where his escapement is, you'll notice has the bridge configuration over that.
Yes, it does.
So each one, that's how it shows you they are exclusive. This isn't the same watch in two different colors. These are two completely different designs. So keep an eye right here.
Go ahead and lay that watch right up here because I want them to see that. Okay, you're going to shift to my watch, and they're going to come in even closer to see that these really are unique. I can't believe I did not notice that. But you'll notice right here, there is a bridge that runs across that escapement into the beating heart. Notice this is a different style here. They really did customize each one of them. Now, there's a reason that one of ours has already sold out tonight. We apologize if you didn't get that, but congratulations to those of you that did. And if you already have it and you have a picture of it and you want to tweet us, we'd love to see it. But look at just how you know that there's only 499 other people that have this watch.
These are Seagull automatic movements, and these are grade A movements. And what Rotary does, will you hold that, please?
Oh, absolutely. I am so sorry. I was enjoying you being this close. Hello. That looks really nice.
What Rotary does is they actually purchase those movements from Seagull. They bring them in-house, and keep in mind that Seagull is a very good Chinese manufacturer of automatic movements.
Absolutely. Well known.
They bring those movements in-house, and then they modify those movements and adjust them to their own positions and degrees of accuracy. And in fact, Rotary puts its watches through its own stages of testing. You know how we talk about certified chronometers go through all these tests? Rotary does that with their watches. These are 42 millimeter cases. They are classic elegance, and yet $18 down. $18 a month. If you've got a $20 bill in your wallet, I mean, you can afford this watch.
And we'll pay for the shipping to get it to you. And if you decide it's not everything we're saying, which it is, send it back and we'll pay for it and give your $18 back.
Absolutely. So it's literally $18 and then tax where applicable. So here, $18 plus the free shipping, plus the free returns. God forbid you don't like it or the person you give it to doesn't like it. Rotary has a 3-year warranty, which we honor. We take over all warranties for all brands, so you never have to worry about that. The price on this goes from $90 to $140. So take advantage now and get this numbered limited edition skeletonized automatic. Again, the 2 remaining at the top, that's the silver dial, 264156. Bottom right, that's the gold dial. Remember, they are a little different. That has the escapement with the bridge. That's item number 175944. And they are both numbered limited editions out of 500 each.
You know, when you first handed me this watch, there is a very much a watch that loves to be associated with pilots. That this...
You thought it was?
I thought this watch looked very bright. Didn't you think it looked bright?
Yeah, I think you're very bright.
I can't say that other word. But this looks fantastic. Oh, are you kidding me? This is really...
This is one of our brands. This is a Swiss-made watch right here.
No, I'm looking at the price once again. You have to understand, you know, it's not like they give us all the information on what they're going to be selling things at. I mean, like we had a watch, you know, just a few weeks ago, an Eterna, that was so sillily low price that we all just kind of dropped our teeth.
Oh, my God, yeah.
This is one of those watches, as we come in even closer, this looks like the aviation chronographs that we see from a very bright company that's out there. And I love the fact that they have given such a wide dial here, and they've put the angle of this inner part of the dial to give it such a wide look and a thinner bezel, and it really looks good. You know, and the fact that we've taken a watch that is so inexpensive and we've put it on 6 payments, wasn't this supposed to be reserved for our more expensive watches?
Probably. You know what's crazy is this, the Altitude and the Meridian, were the very first Swiss-made Swiss Legends that we brought out this year. And they both did something kind of cool. And since we've got just the Altitude tonight, I want to remind you of something. If you're looking at the specs on this watch, and I already measured it, because I do every time because it's an optical illusion, these watches measure at 43.5 millimeters.
There's no way.
These watches wear, I know, like 45.5 millimeter watches. They wear so much bigger in presentation. And yet, for you guys out there, because I know you like more of a classic size watch. For you guys out there that still want something a little classic, maybe you don't like the idea of wearing a 46 millimeter or a 45 millimeter. You're worried it's going to be uncomfortable. Here, best of both worlds. It's going to wear like a 43.5 millimeter on the wrist, and yet the presentation, you will hold this up next to a 46 millimeter, and you will swear it is nearly the same size. And you know what? Jenny, may I please see from hour one of those Luminox watches, the Atacamas, the alarm that went off?
Yeah, this looks like a much larger watch. So this means, when we put it on in just moments, it's going to really look very well. Because there you are with the Lume too. The Super Luminova on this looks great. That's how it's going to look if you step into a darkened theater, step outside in the evening. It's going to be one of those watches that is easy to still tell the time. Oh, and this is lightweight too.
So here's the thing, guys. We're talking Swiss-made watches. Swiss-made watches here. And I've got two watches that I'm going to compare side by side very quickly. You guys know that this Luminox that I'm holding up is a 46 millimeter. Now, how is this 46 millimeters and this measures at 43 and a half, and yet this doesn't even look that much smaller? This will wear like a 45 and a half millimeter, and you can hold it up next to a 45, 46 millimeter, and it's nearly the same exact watch.
It's the customization in the bracelet, because I was trying to figure out as you were speaking, but you'll notice right here that the end link that comes up to the lugs actually connects to the case. So it looks like if you were to go from here to here that you have a watch case it's that large. It's not. The watch case goes from here to here, but because of the height of the watch, that's exactly why. But I'm going to show you this watch on my 6 3/4 inch wrist, and you're going to see this is a perfect fit. Absolutely wonderful. And it's one of those right there that it looks great. Look into that dial. Look at that texturing in there. It's 100 meters of water resistance because it is Swiss legend. Does this have the Sapphitech or the Sapphire crystal?
This has the Sapphitech crystal. No.
Wait a minute.
No, this
it's
has
Swiss
sapphire.
made. I was about to say.
Oh, baby. We're talking sapphire crystals.
Now, we're so used to Swiss legend using that fantastic Sapphitech crystal, but as we move more and more to Swiss made, literally, we're just sparing no expense, except not passing it on to you, because this watch should be the $319. But it's not.
Swiss made watches, remember, Swiss made movement. 60% of the value of the watch, at least of these components, must be Swiss made.
Oh, that looks good too.
Packaged and assembled in Switzerland and passed all the guidelines of the Swiss Federation. These are Swiss made watches. You've got the ISA 8172, so you've already got a great movement that you know and love. We love. I find the ISA 8172 to be such a great convenient movement, especially if you like the sportiness and the look of a chronograph, but maybe you don't need all the bells and whistles of super accuracy or to time it. Here, you will get some of that stopwatch, of course, at the 9 o'clock subdial, but you also get the day of the week and the calendar date. I love because of that texturing when the light hits it just right. You can see this really cool light show almost with that texture. Fixed bezel, of course, with the tachymeter scale, which actually is functional in this case. Sapphire crystal, guys. Genuine Swiss Super Luminova. Where else can you buy a Swiss-made watch for under $200? Where else can you get it for under $300, $400? Nowhere else but here at World of Watches. You saw the bracelet, solid end-link construction, screwed in case back.
Look at the detail in that. I mean, that is a great beauty shot, but this is not a, when you look at this price point, you may think they've skimped on the dial, they've skimped on the movement. This is everything right in there.
Item number for this one right here, the black dial, is 260647. Wiley was just showing us the silvery white dial, because I don't want to just call it white. It's not just flat white. That's item number 260648. And in fact, I'll just, since they're holding this shot, I'll just slide this one over. So this is item number 260648. You can see that it's white, but in some lights, because of that texture, has a bit of a silver sheen to it.
Do you know what I like about this watch? It's not heavy.
No.
I really did expect it to be a little heavier. So for the watch folks out there that you don't get to actually feel the watch like we do, this is not a heavy watch. Now, it's a solid link bracelet from what I can tell.
Yeah, solid end links.
But it is not heavy like you would expect with a, let's say, our precisionist is a very heavy bracelet. This is comfortable and lightweight, even though, because it's a smaller watch in the sense that 42, 43 millimeter, but it is comfortable all the way around. I love that. This is just another one of those great values tonight, and we are delighted to offer it at 6 payments. 6 stress-free payments of $26.67. That's a deal. Hey, Mom, Dad, are you looking for a great watch for graduation? Or that early, get it out of the way Father's Day gift that you're not waiting to the last minute? What a great choice tonight to be selecting one of those.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on. Back to Bulova, but back to Bulova that we know, right? These are the precisionist. So remember, we just showed you exactly that UHF, that super slimline accuracy in the new designs, which are actually old designs, if you will, redone. Here's where it all started with the Champlain precisionist.
This brings you right into the 21st century. Now, you have 2 great choices here, 2 brothers with a lot of personality with each of them. And I say it's taking you into the 21st century because these also have ultra-high frequency movements. But these are the precisionist movements. They're a little bit larger on the inside, but equally as accurate as the ultra-high efficiency movement, because the ultra-high frequency movement, because these are the efficient 262 kilohertz movements that make up precisionist. And it's also a modern interpretation because you're going to look into those beautiful carbon fiber dials. Now, there's a lot of personality in both of these watches. And as you're staring into these movements, you can see that expanded date window in both of these. That's going to give you a glimpse into the inner wheel that's going to have the date. What a great shot, guys. And you'll notice there's the sign for infinity on that sweep hand, but it's also the letter P for precisionist. Now, there is 300 meters of water resistance to these watches. That makes it a very serious watch if you're going to be one of those folks that need, number one, the precision of the accuracy of the precisionist movement, and you want to have the most accurate quartz movement on the planet, but you also need something that's going to be durable. And you can see they've even done that with the protection here over the crown. Some watches do not have this type of protection over it, and it makes the crown more susceptible to being banged or damaged. And as I flip this around, you're going to be able to see that it has a screw-down case back that also is going to assist its water resistance. Now, for those of you who are just joining us, if you're not familiar with what we're talking about when we talk about precisionist, we're going to take probably a minute or 2, maybe less, to just give you a little bit of information about what makes this watch so unique. Timekeeping has been done by movement, and that's going to be, let's say, a grandfather clock. It's the pendulum. If it's going to be a watch that's mechanical or automatic, it's going to be that oscillating balance wheel inside of there. When quartz movement came out, they found that the vibration of a piece of quartz in the shape of a tuning fork was able to be a measurement of time, and that would resonate at about 32 kilohertz, as opposed to, say, that automatic or that manual watch that you have. That's going to be resonating at 3 to 5 kilohertz. This resonates at 262 kilohertz. That's going to give you 8 times the accuracy. A mechanical watch or an automatic is accurate to within, 15 seconds per day. The quartz movement that's on your wrist right now is going to be accurate to within 15 seconds per month. This is accurate to within 10 seconds per year. That's why it is the precisionist. And these are 2 great. I mean, which one do you like better?
Oh, black and rose. Do you even have to ask?
Really?
I was just about to say I love that watch so much. I do. I'm taking it from you.
Oh,
I love it.
But you know what? You have the good guy watch. I have the villain watch.
Oh, well, that's telling.
Unless you're Batman, and then I have the hero watch, and you're the evil villain because you're showing off with your bling.
Can I be Catwoman?
On any given day, yes.
I already am. Yeah, in my personal life, sadly, I already am Catwoman. You should see when I have to film the product videos and we have to stop so I can lint roll all the cat hair off my sweater. That's a true story. Albert's in the back going, "Oh yeah, I know that." Anyways.
There's a joke about hairball in there, but I'm not going. This really does look good.
I love the carbon fiber in the dial too.
Well, this is great because you've got the texturing here in the rubber strap that meets right up to the case. You have this wonderful machining, this knurling around the bezel, which gives it such an industrial feel. And you don't expect it because you look straight on, you see the high polish, and then suddenly here is this industrial look. And it's just part of their detailing of there's something serious about this watch. And you begin to see that genuine carbon fiber that you're going to find in race cars and airplanes. And then you get to take a peek inside to see inside that expanded date window. And then it tells you everything you need to know. The precisionist, the most accurate quartz movement on the planet. But of course, I think the one that you have, I'm going to put this one on my wrist, but I want folks to be able to see the luminescence of this. Bulova has done a great job making it so this watch, in say a darkened theater, stepping outside in the evening, you're still going to be able to tell time because it has a painted on luminescence, which means that the luminescent material within it, it captures the light around you and holds it for a period of time that you can still see it as the sun goes down.
To me, there is something so elegant and, dare I say, sexy about black and rose. I know I was talking about it last night. You guys have watched the shows before. You know, black and rose is my favorite color combo with watches. I just love the way it pairs so beautifully together. And it is interesting that this is the exact same watch, and yet when we make it into a two-tone, or when Bulova makes it into a two-tone, you're almost able to see a bit more. If we could come in a little closer even, please. You're able to see a bit more all of the different levels on this watch. Thank you so much. Because here, we'll show you this one for a moment, and then we'll go over to Wiley's, and you'll be able to see that his almost blends in a bit more seamlessly. But in this case, you can really see the different levels inside the dial. You can see that inner ring where you've got the 24-hour chapter ring, and then the outer ring on the outside of that carbon fiber where you can see the minute scale and all of the hour markers. The black ionic plating to show off all the knurling done around the bezel, and then the rose gold plating where the edges are beveled off, and notice how they use certain areas to mirror polish, certain areas to brush. I like that the black and rose almost allows some of those details to be a little bit more visible and vibrant. Now, unfortunately, as you guys know, this watch wearing like a 48 millimeter is just too darn big for my 6-inch wrist, even with the tightest closure. So this is a watch that you need to have at least a 6.5-inch wrist for.
Thank goodness I have a 6.75-inch wrist so I can wear this watch. Now, you need to know that both watches have a fixed bezel. So even though there's 300 meters of water resistance and there is a screw down crown, you can certainly take it diving. But for those folks who, that might have the need of a unidirectional bezel, this is a fixed bezel. It's a good looking bezel. You can certainly take it diving, but this is not a professional dive instrument. It's one of those watches that really is capable of being a sport watch. It can be a dress watch, and I think this looks great. And I've actually got it so that you can see the additional amount of strap right here, so that if you have, say, almost a 9-inch wrist, you could certainly wear this watch. And it is completely comfortable on my 6.75-inch wrist. And as we back up to just the other shot that's just a little further away, you can see that it wears so incredibly well. Now, whether you like the very sporty black look or you like that rose gold, there is a watch for you tonight. And you're not going to have to pay the $499. I want to assure you right now that on my magic collection of cards that I have right here from some of the big jewelry stores, that they are charging... Well, there it is. There it is right there. I mean, I can't...
$476.20 for the three-hand.
Folks, I can't show you the name of the jewelry store. They are known for their diamonds. In fact, they consider themselves a diamond store. But they also have watches. And this is their price in their handwriting that they quoted me for this watch. And they were delighted to say, hey, the list price is $499 and we can offer it at $476. Oh, yeah?
Little does that poor store clerk know that we're shaming them publicly on television.
I did not mention Sharon's name on television.
I picture Wiley going in there with like a wig on, like a blonde wig, like sunglasses.
A dress. And they go, that ugly woman is...
My name's Megan. I work on TV.
Hi, I'm Megan. Do you have any Bulovas? That's a nice watch. And that's truly how she sounds when she's not on the air. This is entirely a computer-generated voice. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We're closing a half hour early. Folks, I really am very passionate about the Bulova Precisionist watches because I believe that this 140-year-old company has decided not to be just the old fogey watch company that continues to pump out the same thing. They took what was taken for granted and took it to the next level. So, folks, if you're looking for a Bulova watch, you're looking for the most precise quartz movement on the planet. You're not going to pay retail. You're not going to pay mall prices. $279.99, 5 stress-free payments. The first payment of $56 gets it home. We're delighted. But we also want to harken back to what's been a great seller tonight. It's going to pay the mortgage on the building.
We don't want anyone to miss out on this. The Abismo 2.0, our #1 selling collection of the weekend.
Wonderful.
And it just debuted last night. Now, unfortunately, for people who don't watch the show, tomorrow when this watch makes its way to the website, it's $1,000. Might be discounted a little bit, but it's not going to be $350, and it's not going to be on 6 payments. This weekend, right now, Swiss-made Abisos. As I mentioned earlier, when we had the Abisos Generation 1, it had a Swiss-made movement, but it was not a Swiss-made watch, and it was $500. Now, it's a Swiss-made watch with an STP 1-11. Remember, think of that as a comparable to a 2824, except now it has a 46-hour power reserve, so it's an even bigger power reserve. You still have 1,000 meters of water resistance. It's massive at 19.5 millimeters in thickness. You've got a 4 millimeter thick Sapphitech crystal in there. It wears like a 48 millimeter. It's big. It is big. Even the silicone strap is super thick. This is a watch that is all about those bragging rights. It's also super functional for diving, of course. Even one of our viewers tweeted in earlier that he uses his for diving and scuba diving and snorkeling. These watches are Swiss-made watches. Swiss-made automatic movements inside. Genuine Swiss Super Luminova. 316L surgical grade steel. You have 3 color variations to choose from. We'll start at the top. White accents. That's really just silver tone and black. No other colors. Item number is 274852. Bottom left, a few pops of yellow. Item number 274853. Bottom right, I kind of like that one because I like how it's all blacked out. Item number 274856. Again, 1,000 meters of water resistance, a Swiss-made watch in an automatic for $350. Forget all that. Put $58 down and wait until you see what comes your way. This just debuted, and it is already our best-selling collection of the entire weekend. And I know as we continue to air these and we bring out more colors, it is only going to get better. And I'm sure, like we saw last time with the Abisos Generation 1, these will sell out.
We have a lovely selection coming up that I am so glad, because I love our beautiful classic timepieces. Now, to show you live, we only have one variation to show you here in the studio, but both variations are, oh, it's sold out, really? Oh, they just, you know, you blink and people just buy these things. We are delighted for those of you that know the secret that you can pop online and buy things so quickly, but we are delighted. Listen, Eterna is a name that you need to know in the watch world. They are the folks that gave us, you know, the most beautiful collection of watches. I mean, this is a classic look. When you get an Eterna home, you're going to get this presentation, this box. This looks absolutely gorgeous. But when you open it up, I want you to see what's coming up tonight. Doesn't this look great? When I saw the name Eterna, my immediate thought was this had to be white gold. Because I'm wearing a watch that's a different brand. That's one of our brands, or one that we're partnered with. And it's an 18 karat gold, and they have almost identical dials.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it's a classic kind. There's the Roman numerals. There is, and I thought, oh, this had to be white gold. And I think people will instantly begin to think that you have a white gold watch on. You're not trying to fool anybody. Realize when you're buying a classic timepiece, it's because you love it. This tonight, this Eterna looks so wonderful. And this is what you're getting tonight. This beautiful presentation. Look at that.
Weren't you going to maybe make this your pick?
This was my, I thought we had hot picks tonight, and this is the first one that I picked up.
Well, you can have your hot pick be the whole collection. I think we're actually getting a few more of the other variation.
Really?
So we might be able to have both variations available tonight. We're going to show you just Roman numerals, but the other one, which we will reference when we go to the beauty shot, just has the stick hour markers. The bottom left is still available. That is item number 100876. But what we have to show you, they are the exact same watch, just the dial's a little different. I like the Roman numerals, to be honest.
I do too.
Item number 100878. This is the Solar collection.
Now, this is a 42 millimeter case. And of course, you know that you have a sapphire crystal on there and something you would never do. And I'm sure they cringe just a little bit, but you have that confidence in the product. This watch is going to look as gorgeous generations from now. When you pass this down to your lineage, you might want to repolish this the stainless steel, but you're not going to have to worry about this crystal because that's sapphire crystal. Now, this is an all Swiss-made watch. That means this movement inside of here is a Swiss movement. At least 60% of the value and construction of this watch is in Switzerland. This movement had to be placed inside this case in Switzerland, and the final inspection has to be in Switzerland. It's Eterna, for heaven's sakes. You know you're getting the very best. That's why it can have the moniker of all Swiss made. It has the reverse date window right here, which is a black wheel with the white lettering. The classic Roman numerals, three-hand movement. And what you're going to love is this incredible crocodile strap. This is not a croc print. This is genuine handmade crocodile. The strap that's on here, you have the push button, single to point, scissor style, or butterfly clasp on there. When you look inside, there it is. It looks absolutely, let me make sure you can read that, so that's right there. It is handmade, genuine crocodile strap. Now, there's even 50 meters of water resistance on this beautiful dress watch. Not that you'd ever want to get it in the water, but you know, I've dropped my phone in the water before.
Oh, that must hurt.
It does. And the thought of dropping a $3,000 watch in the water and then suddenly it's gone? No way. And tonight, it is a $3,700 watch, and the WOW price, which it'll be back up in just a few hours, of $800, is a ridiculously low price.
Can we say for a moment that this is a $3,700 watch for $600? I mean, think about how many watches we've shown you guys this weekend, and $600 is your price divided up over 5 months. And as Wiley said, this is a watch that's heirloom quality. You will will this down in your lifetime. And you're spending $120 a month? That is 1/6 of the price. A $600 watch that retails for $3,700.
You know, back in the day, there were a few powerhouses in the watchmaking movement world that gave everybody the movements. And eventually they all begin to back off and say, we're not going to sell to the rest of the world. We're going to be exclusive. And that meant companies like Eterna had to come up with their own movement. They had to create something. And there's so many different companies that had to do that. And we're delighted. This has the Sellita SW200 movement. Now, for those of you who are familiar with ETA movements, this is very similar to the 2824, almost identical. So you know the reliability, the accuracy, you know that you're getting quality. And because it's all Swiss made, that tells you so much. And I love the fact there is so much polish on this. This is such an understated, elegant piece. Folks, if you're looking for that classic dress watch, you're looking for something that's going to carry through for generations, you're looking for that piece that you're going to be delighted to pass down. Or, hey, dads, if you have a son that loves watches, and I have that son.
I was just about to remind
you. need to buy my son this watch for me. But if you would like to get one for your son, you can get him a $3,700 watch. Is he graduating high school or college and you want to give him a pivotal moment, a watch that marks the occasion? You don't have to pay the $800. You're certainly not paying the $3,700. $599.99. $120 gets it home. 5 stress-free payments. We're not going to charge any interest. We're going to pay for the shipping. You're going to be able to see this. And you know, this is a watch that not only looks great on a gentleman's wrist, but
it looks great on Megan's wrist.
You know what? I would be delighted to have that arm on my arm going out, knowing that I could see
we would look so fabulous together.
Well, because look at this. I mean,
and think about how much money you'll have left over when you buy us each one of these watches, because you're going to use the stress-free payments.
Folks, you need to know, Megan is truly a fashionista. She has had her own fashion shows. I mean, I have gotten more than one consultation of, does this look right? And she just laughs and sends me back.
But then he laughed when I told him maybe some highlights.
But adult garanimals are nice clothes. But this right here, if you had that little black dress, and this was that oversized dial for, you know, a lady, and you stepped out with this with just one pop of color, That watch looks great.
Oh, I'm stepping out already.
That is red carpet right there.
I love, and again, I know that sometimes I tend to harp on price a bit, but to me, $600 watch, a good watch, right? We've seen some great watches that retail for $600, and we've got them for $300 or $400. But this is a $600 price for you on a $3,700 retail price. Eterna, of course, created ETA movements. ETA was then part of the Swatch group, so they're no longer giving movements to anybody outside of the Swatch group. So they have the Sellita SW200, as Wiley said, comparable in every way to the 2824 from ETA. Here, classic good looks. Roman numeral hour markers, all silver tone, a bit mirror polished, and then that genuine crocodile strap. Here is just one of the two variations that we have available. Because remember, we've also got, and we'll show you in a moment in that B-roll shot, our video shot, you'll see that if you don't want Roman numerals, if you would prefer a dial that almost had even less on it, here, you would be able to choose between those two. They're slimline designs. You have to put $120 down. So again, I know I sort of go back to this, but I kind of consider myself to be in that mid-grade range of watch collecting. A couple $100, no problem. Once a month, get myself something nice. I got myself this month, or I should say in April, I treated myself to the Raymond Wild Tango, the men's version. You guys know I love men's watches. That's an $1,100 watch. I used the show discount, it was $400. Here, even bigger discount. $3,700 watch for a $600 price, and the stress-free payments $120 down. $120 gets you non-Swiss made, gets you something okay, quartz, fine, whatever. $120 a month as that budget though gets you Swiss made, automatic, heirloom quality. I love to invest in fashion watches and get things that are kind of crazy, and I have all different sorts of colors and materials and things. But it's also important that we get those investment pieces, those pieces that will be around for the rest of our lives, that as we mature, at least in age, maybe not in personality, will mature with us. And you've got two different variations to choose from. The stick hour markers, which regretfully we could not show you tonight, but it's the same watch. 42 millimeter case. Date window almost hidden at the 6 o'clock position. The item number for that is 100876. It's a $3,700 watch we've got for $600. The one on the right with the Roman numerals, a $3,700 watch we've got for $600. Item number is 100878. $120 a month, interest free for these watches. The Solar from Eterna.
Megan, just see if you agree with this. I think there's kind of a velvet rope out there in the watch world. There's certain names that if you can get that watch, you've kind of entered into the other side.
Yeah.
And this is that watch. It allows you to have the name, and it has, there's the pop and power to it. So if you want to be able to get into that club of just high-end watches, but at a fraction of the price, consider the Eterna tonight.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to go now from one brand to the next. Another brand that we sort of joked before that these are really well-known brands the world over. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody who didn't know what a Seiko was, right? Even people that aren't familiar with watches have at least heard of Seiko. And we've got 3 automatics to choose from. And the fun thing is that this collection, the past couple of weeks, has been so crazy popular on our shows that if we had a bestsellers hour, these would most certainly almost be leading the charge. And you've got 3 variations to choose from. And 2 of them are similar because of that navy blue dial and the navy blue bezel and the black bezel. But you'll see that they are different when the light hits them. And Wiley, you've got my favorite with the navy blue bezel on.
Well, these are absolutely beautiful watches, and we're going to let you see each and every one of them. In fact, last week we had someone that said, could you help me pick which watch is the best for me? And we love the fact that we love all 3 of the personalities of these Seiko watches. Now, Seiko in 1881 started their first jewelry store just outside of Tokyo, and then in 1924 they started building watches. And now, with all of that history and heritage behind them, they're one of the best known names in the watch world. The fact that we have automatics, this from the Pilot series, and you have this name, this quality, this craftsmanship at a price that you would find for a traditional quartz watch. Now, this is incredible. And I love the fact, because you're going to see these not just from the front, but from the back, and you can see that they are absolutely incredible, because this has a screw-down exhibition back. Now look at this watch on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. You see that it is great. It fits so wonderfully. Now I'm going to take this off, because you need to see that because it has the slide rule type of complication on there, that this is rotatable in both directions. Now, which one of these do you like the best? Which one is
the
your
one that's
favorite?
in your hands right now? We're going to show a closer shot of that so you can see that it might look like it's all blacked out, just like this bottom all black one is.
Oh, there we go.
But look at this in the light. I love that. Notice how you've got that rich midnight blue dial that in some lights looks black along with that bezel. I mean, this to me just totally pops. And then I love the little bits of orange in there.
Oh yeah, there is so much to hold your eye. And what's your favorite part? What do you just love? It's the little tiny plane right there. Okay, if you're a pilot, let's say you're graduating, or you have a family member that's graduating from like Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, which is here in Florida, I think in Oklahoma, and there's other schools that certainly have, you know, great aviation schools. Or you just love aviation. You love planes, or you want that look.
Sorry, that was
Here's it.
rude.
You're allowed to. But look, this doesn't just look good. And look at that coin edge on there. Look at the high mirror polish, and there it is. There is the 24-jewel automatic movement. Now, you don't have to hesitate for a moment to purchase this Japanese watch, because it's from a name that is absolutely a powerhouse in the watch building world. Because of that Hardlex crystal that's on there, you know, Hardlex is far more flexible than, say, sapphire or even
Mineral?
yeah, because mineral has the ability to scratch. Sapphire is great at scratch resistance, but it has a tendency, if it's hit just right, to shatter. Oops, sorry, I'm glaring the watch. But the Hardlex is a great with flexibility and scratch resistance, and it doesn't just look good in daylight. The LumiBright,
Oh, yes,
which
Seiko
is
LumiBright.
Seiko's proprietary illumination, is incredible. You're going to love this. This is one of those that if you step into the theater, you step outside, or maybe the secret mission in your plane late at night, you're going to be able to tell the time. And I love this. I love the blue, but I'm going to go ahead and grab another one. Oh,
Do you
the
want to
black.
try the orange one on?
Do you want to try the black?
I have no preference.
Okay. These
Now,
are
I'm going to give this a
good-looking
quick
watches.
measure. I believe it's 45. Oh, yeah. 45
Did you get it right?
millimeters on the nose. I'm going to strap on the black dial, black bezel.
Oh, go ahead.
With the red accents. Wiley's got, why don't you show Wiley's off first?
Oh, sure. Now, this has a lot of personality to it because it is the orange. I love the fact that Seiko did not just stay safe on this. They could have just stuck to a, you know, white and black. They used the blue, which we both love. The black is a classic look, but there is something very sporting, very much more of a flair to it than you find in some of these other more traditional looks. And I love the fact that they've made something for everybody. So if you want to have something edgy, I would go with the orange. I think it looks great. If you want something that's very classic, go with the black. And Megan has that on. And I love the blue that we had too, because if maybe you already have a watch that has a black dial or a white dial, well then go with something a little unique. Go with the blue.
This one, I think, is definitely going to look the largest on the wrist. And that's because, of course, with the bezel and the dial being the same color, your eye is sort of drawn outwards. It's almost hard to see where bezel ends and dial begins and back and forth there. So it's going to have an even bigger presence on the wrist, and it's going to make those colors pop, those little bits of red that's on this dial. Now, of course, you have the day and date complication at the 3 o'clock position. You have a 24-jewel automatic movement. So when you pull the crown, it stops the movement. That means the movement hacks. That is the difference between the 21-jewel and the 24-jewel with Seiko's automatic movements, of course. There is that omnidirectional slide rule bezel, 100 meters of water resistance. I like that texture. To me, it really does have such a cool aviation design that, yeah, whether or not you're into that stuff, whether you're a pilot or not, if you like that sort of kind of watch geek cool look, this is a really fun one, and you've got it from one of the world's most recognized name brands. Now remember, we never say that you can't find watches discounted other places. That would be foolish. But we guarantee that we have the lowest price on everything. And we are so confident about that we will give you a price match guarantee if you find this somewhere else for less. Last watch of the weekend, folks.
No way.
Well, what a way to end. Maurice Lacroix Pontos.
Oh, this looks nice.
A 44 millimeter featuring, say it with me now, folks, Valjoux 7750 automatic chronographs. And the cool thing about these Pontos, which we're actually going to show you one that I swear I have never seen before, and that's the one with the orange
That's
accents.
why I took it.
I like that it's unique. But what's interesting about these Pontos watches is the Pontos collection is so many different flavors, right? We've got the rectangulaire, we've got the super classic, we've got the titanium. Now we've got something that is not only titanium, but it's also the sportiest. You've got it on the rubber strap, so it's going to be the lightest in weight and the most comfortable for most people. And yet, when you look into this watch, forgetting about the fact that there's a rubber strap on it, because I think today's trends, gentlemen, you guys could wear this with a suit and it doesn't look childish. It doesn't look too dressed down. I think the look is sort of, we see that a lot with lots of big name brands. Hublot does this. You get watches that have rubber straps and they're super
Oh, no, that is
high-end.
in right now. There is no doubt about that. That is not trendy.
I like that this is sort of that comfortable feel for you guys out there. Now, of course, Valjoux 7750 automatic chronograph. Almost a brushed finishing for that dark gunmetal dial. Now, this is for the bottom item number 121827. I want to stop and reset that and then show you.
Oh, that's good looking.
Notice 25 jewel, Swiss made, titanium watch, 44 millimeter, super lightweight, very, very comfortable and easy to wear. And another thing is you're looking at this watch, and as we've all come to expect from a lot of high-end dress watches, you don't think you get a lot of lume, but you do. You actually get BGW9. So that is a white that glows a cobalt blue. So it's really relaxing, it's very pleasing to the eye, and it's a bit more unique. You do not see BGW9. Now, something that I am just crazy about is the fact that this watch fits my 6-inch wrist. Much, much bigger watch, of course, on a 6-inch wrist, fits perfect, and it is comfortable. Titanium, of course, super lightweight. Titanium is also hypoallergenic and non-corrosive. This is a material that literally will not rust. Nothing will happen to titanium as far as the elements and
Corrosion.
life.
It's corrosion resistant. It's just not going to corrode. It is one of the lightest weight, strongest materials, which means that sapphire crystal is going to protect the dial. You've got titanium protecting the case. You have the water resistance of this watch. You have one of the most recognized movements in the world with this modified Valjoux 7750, and in my hand is my choice, because as beautiful as that watch was that you have on, this is my choice.
I like this.
I love both of them. For Maurice Lacroix to step out into this bolder look, there's a youthfulness to this, yet it is very classic. And again, it's going to operate with the same measure of precision. You have that screw down back that's going to help with its water resistance. Of course, you have that incredible automatic movement. And I love what looks like, a protector for the crown is actually the pushers for the chronograph. And there is such a sense of quality when you push these. I mean, you can really tell that this is designed to last a lifetime. And folks, I don't know what you're looking for tonight in watches. Maybe this is just a measure of entertainment for you. But for those,
so.
It is in so many ways. But this is also one of those watches that is a pinnacle piece, because it's a $3,900 watch. But the fact that we're putting it at, 5 stress-free payments, I mean, this is a watch that is gorgeous on the wrist.
I love these orange accents. I noticed this before the show, and I could have sworn that I have never seen this variation. It's kind of cool to see Maurice Lacroix be a little bit playful. Oh, that Maurice.
He does such a good job.
He's so
We got to have him
playful.
over later.
$1,200, guys, for a nearly $4,000 titanium Swiss-made hand-built watch. Even better, as always, use the payments. I just want, instead of it to say Wow TV behind us, I want it to just say use the payments, guys. Use the payments. Hashtag use the payments. Item number for the one on the left, 121826. Item number, oh no, excuse me. Item number for the one on the left with the gray and silver is 121827, pardon me. The one on the right, item number 121826.
I don't want to let my watch go.
This is the problem that we have all the time with him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we have made it to the end of our time together. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually recap all of the collections that we saw this weekend. And we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and joining us this weekend, but also for all of your comments and your tweets letting us know that you do really like the new format. We will try and do this more often and figure out ways that we can always improve upon making the viewing experience better for you guys. Now, this is in really no particular order, because it's collection based, so we don't want to say, well, this one, the top left, is the best seller. So we're just going to remind you of all the collections that we saw this weekend and let you know, again, that the prices and the stress-free payments expire at midnight tonight Eastern. He turns back into a pumpkin then, and I have to go back to living with my evil stepsisters. All right, guys, well, this one actually is the #1 selling collection of the weekend, so I guess I sort of messed that one up. The all-new Abismo 2.0. That's right, the second coming of the Swiss legend Abismo 1,000-meter monster watch. Wears like a 48 millimeter, 19.5 millimeters in case thickness alone. Swiss-made watch that is now $150 less than the original Abismo. And you have the STP 1-11 automatic movement inside that gives you the date at the 3 o'clock. Item numbers there, starting at the top, 274852. Bottom right, 274856. Bottom left, 274853. $350 a watch, but again, 6 is our maximum at $58.33 a month.
And coming in, this is a great collection by Maurice Lacroix, the Pontos Automatic. Now, whether you get the silver tone dial or the black dial, you are getting Maurice Lacroix. You're getting Swiss-made, you're getting that sapphire crystal, you're getting a classic timepiece. And the fact that you did not have to pay $4,100 or the $1,900, but you got it for $899, congratulations. And for those of you that took us up on that $180 first of 5 stress-free payments, you've got a pinnacle piece, a fantastic watch, and there's still time to order it before midnight. And it's one of the great selections that you have tonight.
Oh my, how exciting was it that we got to debut the UHF, the new technology from Bulova that premiered this year at Basel World. Now this is the 42 millimeter 3-hand of their military collections. On the right-hand side, you've got all silver tone with the black dial and the brown leather strap. Item number is 272795. On the right-hand side, a super military-inspired design, all silver tone with the black dial, but now the nylon army green strap. Item number is 272794. $45 a month, interest-free, for those watches.
Oh, I am so glad that this has been part of the collection. Seiko is one of the best named watches that you're going to find out. Everybody knows it. And the Monster Automatic has just really been selling so well with the stainless steel bracelet on it. You didn't have to pay the $370 or the $171, which will be back at midnight. Congratulations to all of you that got it for $139.99. You have 3 great selections here, and it's still available till midnight, and your first payment of $35 for those, and it's home for that first payment.
Remember, guys, you can always go to WorldofWatches.tv and see every single thing because it's all posted there online. So here again, if you want to get a detailed look at all of these different watches, go to WorldofWatches.tv so you'll be able to see the entire lineup. And all ladies' watches that you purchase this weekend will come with that Calvin Klein necklace that I've been wearing all weekend that sells for $200 in retail. And in fact, is actually more expensive than some of the watches that we've had on the show for ladies this weekend. Now again, these are 3 of those Seiko automatics. We're moving on now to the Bulovas. Again, 42 millimeters with the new UHF frequency. That high-tech complication that now gives you the world's most accurate quartz movement. 42 millimeters. My favorite is bottom right. That's got the black dial, 272805. Wiley loves the beige.
Nope, the beige, the ivory. I love that watch. It's such a vintage feel. You get 140 years of watchmaking history in the 21st century innards inside this watch, and we're glad to be premiering it at $284.
272-7964, that bottom left, that's the beige dial. And then, of course, we finally got to see again the Swiss Legend World Timer. I really look forward to being able to go into more detail with these in the coming weeks again, because they were sold out for over a year and a half. Top one is silver dial, 179599, bottom right, 179599. And then bottom left, 81705.
$99, that's the best price you're going to find, we guarantee it. Keep going, folks, because we've got just a few more collections to show you before we head out of Dodge. And you need to know that Swiss Legend has the great altitude chronograph, and it's at $159. You have two great selections here, both in the black dial and the white, but it's going to go back up to $319 at midnight, $159 tonight, or your first $26 payment, 6 stress-free, and you're going to get that watch home. And we are delighted that we also have Rotary with us tonight with these great limited edition watches. One of these is already sold out. You still have the silver tone and the gold tone left. It's the skeletonized automatic limited edition to only $500 per color, $89.99.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this weekend. Again, we hope you had as much fun as we did. Wiley gets you all to himself all next weekend, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Good
Bye,
night,
guys.
everybody. Good to see you.